Folks, this is a live Oklahoma weather alert here. Continuing to track, again, severe weather around Oklahoma. Tornado watch continues here. For all the counties in green, this is until 10 p.m. this evening. Severe thunderstorm watch also for the counties in far southern Oklahoma. Big storm system out here to the west of Oklahoma continues to track across really the Great Plains. We have a dry line that's set up again as we went through the day. And again, the opportunity of severe weather will be increasing even here in central Oklahoma. Again, as you're making those evening plans, the opportunity of, again, some severe weather does look quite possible again here in central Oklahoma. So again, the counties in green, tornado watch here. And again, you can see we really had two supercells kind of merging into one now in west central Oklahoma. I think we really need to watch this carefully. And then kind of more of this linear line of activity down across portions of southwestern Oklahoma. Again, all of this lifting off to the northeast really as we go through the evening. Not very fast, only about 30 miles per hour. But again, let's go and get caught up here on what's going on with radar. First of all, I want to come in here to portions of the western sides of the Oklahoma City metro. Again, this is where we have these storms merging. And again, essentially, these storms were two separate discrete cells, and as they merge, a lot of times folks talk about merging storms and an opportunity of severe weather to increase when that happens. That's not always the case, and at least right now these storms continue to at least kind of demonstrate that, again, there's been no at least rapid strengthening. Now, I think the southern portion of this storm is still the one we need to watch, especially, unfortunately, still just to the southwest of El Reno. That's where we still continue with this broad area of spin. I want to go back over to Dustin's video. Again, he's right there in the El Reno area. Again, he's been looking and he's been watching this storm. And again, even with our spin rate tracker, again, right now, nothing alarming, but just still a broad area of spin south of 40. And again, from time to time, we've kind of had this base. And in fact, we can see it as we go back over to Dustin's shot. And Dustin, I believe you're still on the live line here with us. But as we're looking at your shot.
Yes, William, I'm just looking south here.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, give us an update from where you are right now.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here looking south, and it looks like my stream might be flickering in and out. I don't know if it's coming in, if you're still getting my stream or not.
Yeah, perfectly.
But the rain definitely has started to pick up, and I'm looking at this storm just coming overhead right now. The rain, it looks like it's about to really start coming down. I might try to get out ahead of this storm.
Yeah, right now, just looking at radar, I'm just trying to look at some of the newest data coming in on this. And right now, I mean, it continues just to kind of come up in your area. I think right now, kind of the safest thing is just to kind of stay where you are and just kind of see what happens with this. Now, I can tell you the storm to the north, and again, this is something we really have to watch here, is that the storm to the north also continues to increase in intensity ever so slightly. And even on the back side of it, the area of spin also continues, again, just west of Okarchi, continues to increase ever so slightly as well. So again, right now, at this point in time, there's really nothing too concerning with this activity. But again, with this tornado watch in effect, again, it's just one of those things we have to continue to monitor this carefully. There's kind of the base that Dustin was talking about. Here's all the locally heavy rain you're seeing here. Again, just a great shot of what's going on. So again, this area right back in here, the southwesterly fringes of that storm, that's what we're going to continue to watch. But again, like I mentioned, at least right now at this very point in time, again, just nothing overly concerning with it. And that's essentially the way we want it to stay, again, as we go through the evening. So we'll just kind of two-box that up. Severe thunderstorm warnings continue here. I want to go down to the southwest, and I want to take a look at what's going on down there. We do have a brand new flash flood warning in effect, by the way, as well. So this does include the Lawton area, Medicine Park, Elgin, essentially all the Wichita Mountains there. That's in effect until 6:15, all the way up through Apache, all the way really as far north as the Anadarko area. Stecker included in that as well, Cyril. So again, flash flood warning here. Locally heavy rain falling with this activity, and really any activity we see around the state, the threat of locally heavy rain is going to be there. Now, I can tell you the activity down here to the southwest, it's a little more linear. And a lot of times what that will mean is the risk of tornadic activity sometimes can be a little bit lower with that. Now, we're hoping that that's what holds with this, again, as this activity moves now into the tornado watch there in southwestern Oklahoma. But at least right now, we'll just kind of stair-step this from the south to the north. So essentially, from Tillman County and parts of Cotton County down there, Chattanooga, all the way up through Geronimo, severe thunderstorm warning until 5:30. And again, you can see the hail core there. Hail core getting a little bit bigger with this cell. It's going to be just north of Faxon. And again, there's going to be an opportunity, again, with this specific cell, that at least some golf ball size hail could be quite possible there. And again, in general, if this activity holds together, it's going to be lifting there off to the northeast towards Highway 36. The hail core itself should stay just west of the Geronimo area. But again, lots of locally heavy rain, vivid lightning. Heavy rain also now moving there into the Lawton area as well. And again, small area of spin just back to the northwest of Lawton. And as we look at our spin rate tracker, nothing really sticks out too concerning there. But again, down in the Lawton area, locally heavy rain, vivid lightning, and the hail core in that area is also going to stay just back to the northwest of Lawton as well. It's going to lift up there towards Medicine Park, essentially almost right through Mount Scott. It's going to come right up there through Highway 49. Again, if you're familiar with the Medicine Park area, as you're kind of heading up towards Mount Scott, it's moving right through that general area. And again, Elgin, eventually, if that storm holds together, that hail core would be approaching Elgin. And again, $half size hail possible there. And so from Elgin back up through Apache, all the way up through Stecker. Again, that's where that flash flood warning also continues. Locally heavy rain, non-severe, but up around the Gracemont area, lifting up towards Spring Creek. Again, there may be an opportunity of at least some penny to potentially quarter-size hail even there, again, approaching the Spring Creek area. The activity there, by the way, moving off to the northeast at right around 30 miles per hour. Okay, so let's get back to these cells here. It looked like they were going to try and merge. Again, this is in west central Oklahoma. Again, they're just drifting. They're not moving very quickly. These may only be moving now like 20 miles per hour. Again, just slowly drifting here. And so just kind of looking within these storms and the back end of this storm, Dustin, and this is what you're looking at. And if on your shot, Dustin, make sure you're kind of centered up right to the southwest, that's for sure what we're looking at, because there's still a broad area of spin. It's not very well pronounced. At this point in time, it's nothing too concerning, but it's this area right back in here. And a lot of times, you know, we'll continue to watch these and they go on to never pose a problem or a concern. It's just basically it creates some larger hailstones. And again, whenever we have a tornado watch in effect, if all we get is hail, we'll take that any day, right? We don't want hail, but if that's all we get, no tornadic activity, we would take that in a heartbeat. But it's just this area right back here, again, really on the southern fringes, that continues to at least have some pronounced rotation and some pronounced area of spin with it. And again, that's essentially what we're looking at, kind of that rain-free base. But again, Dustin has a visual on it. Again, on radar, it's not looking overly impressive. And even from his video coming in, not necessarily looking overly impressive there either. Let's go and do this. I want to get an update from Dustin again on this. And we'll also check in. I believe we have Peyton Epperly on the phone. We'll see exactly where he is as well. And so let's go and get an update from Dustin on this storm. It looks like you're involved in some of that heavy rain, but give us an update on that storm.
Yes, William. I've moved positions. I'm not sure if my stream is coming in, but I'm going to take Old Route 66 up the north side of Reno and reposition so that I'm currently just trying to get out of this rain so that we can get a better vantage point to see what's going on. So Are you getting my stream in good, or is it still looking south? No,
your stream is still, well, I mean, it appears to still be looking south, so let's go and check it here. But the rain, we're seeing rain on it, so maybe it's just kind of delayed. I'm not totally sure. You don't appear to be moving, but I do see raindrops showing up on it, so it's at least moving. We're getting it, but again, a lot of times these are about 30 seconds delayed, and that may be what we're dealing with there on that. I see Peyton's in a little bit of traffic. And I think it's just updated now. I refreshed it from here, and again, we can see you now actually driving in the rain, Dustin. So we've got that now. Let's quickly here. I want to go back to radar just real quick because we've kind of got this. It still appears to be kind of this curvature on the back side of the storm that I really want to watch carefully here. And again, even our spin rate showing that it's now lifting north of I-40. Dustin, where did you say you were? Did you say you were getting on Highway 81, or where were you heading towards?
I'm on Route 66 right now and heading northeast into El Reno. I just got out of the rain, and so. But yeah, I'm going to try to follow the storm as it travels northeast. Yeah,
and just right up Highway 81. If you can stay on 81, it's going to try and kind of parallel 81. And so if you can do that, you'll stay in perfect position, again, where that's going. So we just want to kind of watch that. I want to get a quick update from Peyton. I think he's maybe just kind of getting going. It looks like he's maybe just in some traffic right now. But Peyton, tell us at least where you are right now, and go ahead and give us an update.
Yes, William. Okay, so I'm a little bottled up here in traffic, but I'm trying to work out there, kind of get towards the Piedmont area and kind of get in front of this thing a little bit. Definitely trying to intersect and get you a better look at the storm, but like I said, right now I'm a little balled up in traffic. But I'm heading that way.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Peyton. You're doing a great job, and that's actually perfect if you head towards Piedmont, even up towards Northwest Highway, out towards Piedmont. I think that's perfect. This storm, folks, and you can see it happening in real time here. So this storm, and Dustin, if you can stay on 81, really watch your signal, Dustin. I think we've lost your signal just temporarily. We don't want to lose video on this, but again, you can see this hook. It's a little more pronounced. There's El Reno. So Dustin, you should be coming into El Reno proper. If you can get into El Reno, I'd hang out in El Reno just for a second, and we want to watch this carefully. Again, obviously we know what's gone on in El Reno over the last several days. We really want to watch our fellow Oklahomans carefully here. But again, this is a supercell here now. Highway 81, there's El Reno. And again, right now it's not super concerning, but the structure of this storm and even the shape of this storm with what appears now to be this developing hook on the backside is a little more concerning. So Dustin, if you get into El Reno, stay in El Reno proper, and this is the area of spin now. This is the area of spin right back here on the backside. And so we've really got to watch this. Again, this is the area we're talking about right here. It's essentially crossing I-40. This is nowhere near at kind of that alarming level, but as we've just kind of been watching this here over the last 5 or 10 minutes, again, there are some dynamics. There are a few changes now happening with this storm, and again, this is one we want to watch carefully. It's just on the far western sides of El Reno, but even the hail core, man, oh man, you can see the hail core now also becoming just a little more pronounced with this. Dustin, I'm looking at your shot. And yeah, if you can maintain that shot, if you can center up, Dustin, almost look due west. If you're getting into El Reno, get us a shot due west. But again, you can see this hail core even coming up here as well now. And again, a lot of times a hail core, if you start to begin a little more of a pronounced hail core or a larger hail core, that can be a sign of a healthier mesocyclone. Obviously, that's not what we're wanting, but it's one of those things we're going to be watching. This is turning a little more to the east now too, Dustin. This storm may be trying to anchor here. So let's go and do this.
I'm pretty sure I can hear sirens in El Reno right now.
Okay, and you
Yep. Sirens are going off in El Reno.
Okay, siren, and that's, you know what, there's nothing wrong with that after the time that El Reno's had over the last few days.
Oh, and I can see rotation. I am right underneath that rotation right
Let's
now.
get it centered up.
Over here by the Adams Park.
If you can, get it in your shot and get it centered up. This has come up fairly quickly now. And again, this is something we definitely want to watch. Again, for our friends there in El Reno, we may actually have a, let's see, we've just got a new severe thunderstorm warning coming out here. Let me go and take a look at this. So this is a new severe thunderstorm warning.
I can see it, yep. I need to move because it looks like it's heading straight for me.
Dustin, if you can.
I'm over at Adams Park right now. I just saw the marshal, the marshal pull out of the Adams Park, and I think he's the one who basically saw what you're seeing right now.
Okay.
So I'm going to move a little bit because it's coming straight for me.
Do that. Get a little bit further to the east, but do this, Dustin. Make sure you get a shot centered up for us. And so this is turning more to the east, folks.
Yep.
And we want to be clear about this because this may be trying to come right into El Reno. And so right now, again, it's not at the alarming level. There's no tornado warning in effect, but this storm continues to strengthen, and you can see a pronounced hook. As we look at velocities here, Dustin, if you can get us a shot of the actual wall cloud, as you're kind of turning around there before you head out, can you get us a shot of the wall cloud? I just want to
let's
visually.
It should be coming in. It should be coming in shortly.
Okay, and again, his stream is just about 15 seconds delayed, so we're just kind of watching this in real time. So again, just on the far western sides of El Reno, this is going to be out here near Highway 40. Right there where it intersects I-40, Highway 40 and I-40, not to confuse the two, but that I-40 loop that kind of comes in there, basically what turns into Highway 66, coming in there to El Reno. Let's go back to the spin rate here. And again, the spin rate's still just not at that alarming level. So again, you know, this storm, it's got some rotation with it. It's got obviously a pronounced hook with it. We've got a tornado watch in effect. The storm, it is strengthening, it is maturing. It's something we got to watch. The storm to the north up around the Kingfisher area right now, we're watching that one as well. Not as concerning though. Let's quickly go down here to the south. We just want to keep everyone into perspective. We got severe thunderstorm warnings down here around the Lawton, Elgin area. Hailstorms here. Flash flood warning continues. Lawton, Elgin, Medicine Park, Apache, all the way up through Anadarko. Yes, there we go. Dustin, we're seeing it in your shot now. So again, tornado sirens sounding in El Reno, officially not a tornado warning from the National Weather Service, officially not a tornado warning. But again, this storm, you can see it taking on this more classic supercell shape, heavy rain, hail developing here, and this is the hook coming around down here in the back. Now, even though we're saying a hook, even though we're saying a supercell, right now it's not at that level where it's alarming. The Weather Service has not issued a tornado warning on it. Again, obviously with what's happened in El Reno over the last few days, we had an EF3 quick spin up tornado, 2 fatalities there. For those of you who may be watching from around the country, not familiar with what happened in El Reno. So on this side of caution, the emergency manager there in the El Reno area is sounding the sirens. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. You can see the curvature of the storm looking more and more pronounced. The other thing we need to think about, and Peyton, I know you're still heading up towards Piedmont, that's exactly where I'd go. The far western sides of the metro, we're talking about from Edmond, we're talking about all the way down as far south as really we're talking about the Bethany area, War Acres, even over through the Lake Hefner area. Again, heads up on this storm. In general, the general motion here, it's to the east and to the northeast. It's drifting slow. It's only moving 20, 25 miles per hour, but it's going to be crossing eventually Northwest Highway. It's going to try and come on into Oklahoma County. Okay, so right now it's only severe. Again, right now there's no tornado warning, and it's not even at the level. It's nowhere near the level of tornadic activity. But again, this is something we got to watch. And in fact, let me go take a look here. We've essentially got 2 areas of spin. Now, the one area of spin just to the south, Dustin, that you're on there, Dustin, I think your video may have locked up, so just try and stay within video range there at all costs, if possible. But this area of spin to the south, it has tightened up ever so slightly, and that's going to be just due west of El Reno. And so, Dustin, your videos kick back in. Dustin, as soon as you can get kind of stopped, spin back around, and let's get a shot of that wall cloud again. We need to get a shot up so we can take a look and see what we're dealing with here. So it's still just west of El Reno. Okay. Okay, perfect.
Just directly north of me.
Okay, if you can, once you're able to get spun around there, let's get a shot of that wall cloud and let's go and take a look at it. So again, right now, I just want to keep underscoring, we're not at that level where we're overly concerned about this, but at the same time, I don't want anyone to take this storm lightly. Again, severe thunderstorm warning in effect here. We've got a hook coming into the El Reno area. But again, right now, this is just a severe thunderstorm. Right now, this is a hailstorm. But again, things can change fast with this storm. There's also an area of spin.
There you go.
Okay, and it looks like, and your video is just a few seconds delayed, so it should be kicking in here as Dustin kind of gets turned around. We'll take another look at this. It may have frozen temporarily, but as soon as it kicks in and he gets turned around, we'll look at it. While that's happening, I want to keep looking at radar here. And again, you can see the hail core. And this is what I've been talking about as we've gone through the late afternoon, is that you watch these hail cores. And as the hail cores get bigger and they mature, that's always a sign, if you're dealing with a mesocyclone storm, of the mesocyclone becoming healthier. And so we've now got large hail. So earlier when we were talking about some quarters and half dollars, and these were kind of marginally severe, so that's not the case now. Yellow, orange, red, purple, white, gray. So that's a large hail core. That easily could be now larger than golf ball size hail, and that's going to be on the far northern fringes of El Reno. Golf ball size hail now on the far northern fringes of El Reno. This storm is intensifying, and folks, let me tell you what, as this comes on in to the western sides of the Oklahoma City metro, we definitely need everyone paying extra special attention to this storm. There's no two ways about it. This storm is recycling. You see this new hook coming up now on the backside. Let me go and take a look here. Sirens are also now sounding. Okay, it continues to come up, the area of spin. Dustin, we really need you to get a shot. If you can get to kind of within range where you have some video signal, and I really need you to get a shot in so we can kind of see what's going on with this. But I can tell you we're getting a little bit more of a couplet, and I think your videos may be beginning to kick in now. We're getting more of a couplet now just west of El Reno. And so right now, no tornado warning. Sirens are sounding in Yukon, by the way. Sirens are sounding in Yukon. And so what we've got here, just let's go and kind of reset and let's go and give everybody an update with what we have going on. We now have a strengthening. It is not at tornadic levels yet, but we have a strengthening supercell on the western sides of the Oklahoma City metro. Unfortunately, this storm is just west of El Reno. Obviously, what's happened in El Reno the last few days, not good. We'd prefer to not have any type of supercell activity in that general area, obviously. That's simply not the case now late this afternoon. Supercell here, Canadian County, I-40, there's El Reno. Large hail, damaging wind with this storm, but we have this new fast coming around hook here, developing on the back side of it. There's mid-level rotation. Dustin's video, it's pretty intermittent, but you can see it there. We do have a wall cloud with this storm as well. And let's go ahead and let me go back over to the spin rate. And Dustin, you may just kind of keep messing with your video there until you can get it coming in pretty smooth. It's a little intermittent, but I tell you what, the sirens have already sounded in El Reno. Again, right now there's no tornado warning, but you can see this hot little couplet. And when I say hot, I'm talking about color hot. Bright greens, bright reds. Bright greens, bright reds. It's coming up right there where that new little appendage is coming around. We've got a developing tighter mesocyclone here. There's Highway 81.
All
there's
right,
El
I'm
Reno.
starting to see rotation right above me. I mean, I'm right underneath.
Yeah,
it,
Dustin, you're right there.
Move.
You're right there. So, I mean, we see it. It's just coming, for whatever reason, it's coming in really slow. But Dustin's right there. I mean, we can see the wall cloud. Are the tornado sirens still sounding in El Reno?
Yes.
Okay, so they're still blowing. So Dustin's right there. This is, again, still no tornado warning from the Weather Service. Again, this is looking just a little more concerning now. But again, right now, just a severe storm. Highway 81, there's El Reno. The latest sweep came in, and this is kind of exhaling a little bit. So not quite as tight as it was, and in fact, not quite as concerning as it was maybe just a few minutes ago. So again, maybe a little bit of good news as this storm continues to cycle. In fact, now even on the spin rate there, not picking up on much in the way of anything again with the computer, but again, you can still see where the hook is. Now again, this storm, it is not moving very fast at all. It is drifting. It continues to slow down. And in fact, now it may be drifting to the north or to the east-northeast at maybe 15 miles per hour. The storm continues. It continues to slow down. Let's see, Peyton, let me tell you this. If you're on the live line with us, I would not head all the way to Piedmont. If you're going to head out Northwest Highway, I would not get too far out on Northwest Highway. I would let this come to you easily right there on Northwest Highway. I would not go all the way to Piedmont with this. I would kind of break it half and half and stay closer to Oklahoma County. And again, if you're going to Northwest Highway, I'm not sure if that's where you're going or not. But again, I would not go all the way to Piedmont. This is it still continues to try and turn more easterly. This is now almost anchored and turned more easterly. And as we just continue to put this into motion, there's still a bit of a northeasterly motion here, but again, this is still moving more northeasterly and more easterly. Let's do this. I want to zoom this out. I don't want to lose perspective of what's going on around the rest of the state. We do have a storm just to the north of this. We have essentially twin supercells here. We have one going through Kingfisher. This one not quite as concerning right now. Let's go and look at velocities. And even as we look at the spin rate in there, there's some broad spin on the back side of this. Not as concerning, but again, hailstorm coming through Kingfisher right now. An opportunity of maybe some half dollars again right there at the Highway 81, Highway 81 33 junction. In Kingfisher, locally heavy rain, vivid lightning. Again, to the south, we have the supercell. Again, it's trying to essentially come right on into portions of central Oklahoma, moving through the El Reno area. It's moving east-northeasterly. It's slowed down. It's maybe only moving 15 miles an hour right now. It's moving slow, so we'll continue to track that. Again, it's moving through El Reno, severe right now. We'll track it carefully. And then as we go further on down to the south, again, you can see here across portions of Caddo County from Koga all the way down through Spring Creek, Gracemont, Anadarko. Severe thunderstorms here. Again, an opportunity for some half-dollar size hail showing up there. Hail core tracker here. Again, half dollars there possible north of the Stecker area. And then even as we go further on down to the south, half dollars to potentially some golf ball size hail tracking up the Bailey Turnpike towards Elgin. You folks down there around the Lawton area, heads up. And then also coming into Lawton, some half-dollar size hail also possible coming into Lawton. That's what we're getting reports of right now. Half dollars coming into Lawton. That's going to be right there at the H.E. Bailey 281 and Highway 62 junction. So Lawton, Fort Smith, again, heads up on that. Fort Sill, rather, heads up on that. Again, with the hailstorm coming in there from the west. But again, these right now, these are just severe storms down to the south. In fact, right now, everything in Oklahoma is just severe. But again, we've really been highlighting this storm throughout the day. It's the storm right here in portions of west central Oklahoma, supercell here. It's moving through portions of Canadian County from Piedmont all the way back through Reno. Locally heavy rain, vivid lightning, very, very pronounced hail core. Again, look at that hail core where we went from, again, quarters and half dollars earlier. There's a real deal opportunity here now for some golf ball plus size hail. That's going to be just north of Reno. That's going to be tracking over towards towards Northwest Highway rather, and even back over through Piedmont, and even eventually back over towards the Yukon area as well. So from Piedmont to Yukon, heads up again, large hail heading in your direction that may split the towns and kind of hit neither one of those, but it's moving again, in general, in that direction. Also with this storm, let me zoom back in here. Back down here on the southern fringes of it, we continue with this hook. Now, I can tell you this hook is not looking as pronounced as it was. On reflectivity, the hook is there, but as we're looking at velocities within the storm, it's not looking as pronounced as it was. There's still some mid-level areas of spin, and again, I've just moved the radar beam up, and what I mean by that is I've moved the radar beam up with height. So as we're looking kind of more into the cloud base here, you can still see this broad area of spin. There it is there, but you'll see as I move the beam back down on the radar, again, it's not as pronounced at the lower levels. Obviously, to get tornadic activity, you need stronger rotation at the lower levels. Again, as I move the radar beam back down, again, you can see at the lower levels, again, just not quite as concerning as it was maybe 10 to 15 minutes ago. Dustin, we're still looking at the wall cloud here live. You're in Reno. We're looking at that live. If you can, I don't know if you're able to move the shot just slightly to your right, and so that way we can kind of get that centered up a little bit. Let's go and take that full, and we'll go and get another update from you. And again, so we're right there in the Reno area. And again, so we're watching this carefully. Of course, for those of you not watching us from outside of Oklahoma, not in Oklahoma, again, we have folks from all around the world that watch us here on Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV. Again, we appreciate you joining our coverage. But of course, if you're not here in Oklahoma, maybe you don't know that, again, just a few days ago, we had an EF3 tornado that moved through parts of Reno. 2 fatalities, significant localized damage in parts of Reno. So again, as we're talking about a supercell with a hook moving through Reno again, with just in a few days, again, obviously there's some frayed nerves here. There's a lot of anxiety with this. A lot of folks a little nervous about this as this is moving back through. Dustin, we're looking at this live. Again, we see the wall cloud over here on the right-hand side of the screen. Again, on radar, not looking quite as pronounced as it was, but go ahead and give us an update from your location.
Yes, William, I have been trying to get to a better place to where so that I can get the stream to lock in, and it does appear that the sirens have gone off in Reno, and it looks like the rotation has slowed down quite a bit, but I can still, I'm practically underneath this wall cloud right now, and it doesn't look as pronounced as it did before. But I'm trying to get further east, and I was talking to a local here, and he just gave me some directions to be able to get east. So I should probably go ahead and start moving. What do you think?
Now, I would just stay kind of right there where you are, and I think what you could do in general with this, you could probably bounce down to Highway 66 and just take that over towards Yukon and back into the city. Now, I can tell you as we're looking at radar, and I just want to kind of hold your shot for one more second, this is some good news, okay? So this is some good news at this very juncture. Again, the storm had never came up to tornadic levels, but we were holding our breath for a few minutes because it did strengthen quickly, okay? But you can see the hook on the back. It's not as pronounced. The area of rotation, not as pronounced either. Again, this storm is just drifting. I want to say it's now maybe only moving 10 miles per hour. It's just drifting through the Reno area. We got eyes on it. If anything changes, we'll see it live. You've got Dustin's shot right there. But again, this is continuing to track. It's moving to the northeast, but it's really drifting more to the east. And so a lot of the heavy rain and hail, it's getting back up here towards the Piedmont area. We're concerned about the hail. Obviously, we don't want anyone to get the hail, but the area of concern as far as any immediate threat of tornadic activity, it's going to be back down in here, and that's going to kind of split, the way it looks right now, it's going to split the Piedmont and the Mustang Yukon area, and it's going to try and track there into portions of far eastern portions here of Canadian County and cross Northwest Highway. That's Northwest Highway right there, and eventually trying to come into portions of Oklahoma County. So that's the concern right now. But at least at least the good news with this is the fact that, again, at least the structure of the storm, and even as we're looking at velocities within the storm, just not looking as concerning as it was, again, maybe, again, 15 minutes ago. So a little bit of good news. Now, still the bad part of the storm, it's the hail, and this is still the hail core, and the hail core continues to lift a little more off to the northeast there. That hail core is going to try and come into the Piedmont area. In fact, that hail core is trying to cross Northwest Highway right now. There's Piedmont there. So again, yellows, oranges, reds, pinks, whites, grays, very large damaging hail here. This could be larger than golf balls. Then that'll do real damage, as we all know. So larger than golf ball size hail. It's trying to come up right now to Northwest Highway, and eventually that's going to try and come up in the Piedmont area. So you folks in Piedmont, brace for large hail. Stay away from windows. Again, if you're in the Piedmont area and surrounding vicinity, even up there along Northwest Highway. Let me zoom this in, and we'll get kind of a closer shot of this. So again, here's Piedmont, and again, Washington Avenue, back over through Northwest Highway, all the way back over through Northwest 150th Street. If you live in those general areas, heads up. Again, you've got large hail. Again, when you're seeing the hail core tracker going from pink to white to gray, and there's no additional colors after gray, that's some large hail. So again, this could be larger than baseballs, or larger than golf balls, rather. Again, coming in the Piedmont area here over the next 10 to potentially 15 minutes. So again, if you live in Piedmont, you need to brace for large hail coming in your area. Again, if you're able to shelter your car, do what you need to do. Again, it's coming in essentially over the next 10 to 15 minutes. But again, stay away from windows. Again, as this storm moves through the Piedmont area, this may easily blow out some windows, again, with some sideways hail up to the size of golf balls. So heads up on that big hail the next 10 to 15 minutes coming into the Piedmont area. I want to go back down here to the south, and I want to take another look here, because on the southern fringes of the storm, the main area of concern, it's been the rotation. And at least right now, the area of spin that we had, not as pronounced. Now I can tell you this, there may be a new very broad area of spin that's trying to come up, and this is something we got to watch, but right now it's very, very broad. It's nowhere near as compact or tight as what we were dealing with a few minutes ago, and this may just kind of be the whole storm is kind of beginning to spin, if you will. So again, this is an area of spin here. So reds are winds moving away from the radar. The radar we're using here, this is the Twin Lakes radar site. It's down in Cleveland County, northeastern Cleveland County. So areas of red, this is wind moving away from the radar, green coming in, so you can see this broad area of spin here. And so this is something we got to watch. This is one of the reasons why the hail is so big up in here, crossing Northwest Highway. We have a real broad area of spin right through here. Yeah, we've got, I believe we've got Peyton on the live line here now with us as well. Peyton, go ahead.
Hey, William, I just crossed over the highway here, getting closer to Piedmont. This is a very, very large wall cloud, very large, close to the ground. I'm trying to get a better look. I'll have my live shot updated in about 1 mile.
Okay, we're just now taking, I've just pulled your shot up. So again, keep in mind this runs about 30 seconds delayed. These run about 30 seconds delayed. So we're just kind of looking at your live shot there. And looks like we also need to get your town updated there as well. So you're basically coming into the El Reno area. Now, you're not in El Reno. Are you going to be more up towards Piedmont, or tell us where you are right now, Peyton?
Yes, I'm coming into the Piedmont area as we speak. I'm about a mile south of Northwest 178th Street.
Okay. So
the wall cloud does look a little raggedy, but it is definitely there. I can see it very well.
Okay, so Peyton coming into the Piedmont area, so we've kind of got eyes all around it. Again, so we're going to kind of watch his feed coming in there as well. But there is a broad area. I'm telling you, Peyton, there is a broad area of spin. This may be the new concern. And Dustin, I tell you what, I think this is lifting. I think the circulation is lifted off to the north. And this is what I mean by that. And we're going to get right back to Peyton's shot. In fact, we're going to double box those up. This is the new area of spin, and this is coming up right now. And so this is the new inflow notch right here. The old area of spin down here, thank goodness, down here around El Reno, thank goodness, that died, that went away. So this is a new area of spin. This is a new inflow notch. We're going to see a whole hook develop right here. This is a new area of spin, large hail core up in here. Again, we may have larger than golf balls coming into Piedmont. Here comes Peyton. He's coming up Northwest Highway there. New inflow notch, big area of spin also coming up right here as well. So again, also there, you may want to try and get a little further now to the east. Dustin, I would try and get a little bit further to the east. We're going to have a new hook the way it looks come up right there, very close to Northwest Highway. So
I'm moving. Yep.
Okay, got it on that. And as soon as we get Peyton's shot back up, we're going to take his shot. I think we may have just lost it momentarily. And again, he was reporting potentially a new wall cloud again coming up there as well. So it's going to be one of those days where we're just going to have some fast changing weather conditions, and we just kind of got to take it on the fly, and we just kind of got to deal with it as it happens. But again, right now, and I see it happening on radar, and folks, you can see it happening there. This is turning now into more of a classic supercell, and so this will be just a little more concerning. We don't want to overly alarm anyone, but I just don't want anyone to take this lightly, especially if you live in far western portions, northwestern portions of Oklahoma County, or if you live in portions of eastern Canadian County. That hook is now really regenerating. Thank goodness it weakened down there around the Reno area, but it's really regenerating now. And again, this is going to turn into a classic supercell. That's going to be crossing Northwest Highway here fairly quickly. So we're going to get over to Peyton's shot here. We're going to kind of double box both of these shots, and we'll kind of take them as they come in. But let me also do this here. Let me go and back this out. And let's see, Dustin, have you got your shot back up and going?
It should be coming in. It's red now. It was orange there for a minute, but it's locked in now.
Okay.
And I am heading north, and I'm about to head east.
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, no, perfect. We're going to do a radar tour here. And what we're going to do, we're going to check just some other things going on around. We don't want to get too lost on this. But again, right now we're trying to get, as we're getting their signals back in and their streams back in, we've got guys on all around this storm. So no worries on that. We've got guys all around this storm. The activity to the north of this, it's weakening, no longer severe. You folks up around Kingfisher, again, severe storm warning earlier. This activity no longer severe. So again, no concern there. Let's go further on back down to the south. Again, we're dealing with this storm getting closer to Piedmont. We'll talk about that again coming up momentarily. Let's go further on down to the south. A lot of this activity, this is good, is weakening down to the south between Union City, Kogar, back down through Gracemont. That activity no longer severe. Still severe activity down here around Lawton. So the only other severe storm is down here between Lawton and Elgin, and this is still a hailstorm here. But again, some of these hail cores are going to be approaching Lawton. We've had some hail move through the northern sides of Lawton. There's going to be another hail core coming back in from the west, and also down here around the Elgin area, back over through Sterling, right there on the Bailey Turnpike. Again, $half size hail possible. Heavy rain, vivid lightning, flash flood warning also continues there. I want to get back up here into portions of the northwestern sides of the Oklahoma City Metro. Again, this is where we have a supercell here, and it looks like we got a new warning coming out, but a supercell here.
All righty. Hey, William,
Okay,
now,
this is going to be
getting
a new,
out the east
guys,
end. I'm outside of.
Okay, Dustin, I hate to cut you off, Dustin. This is going to be a new tornado warning. This is going to be a brand new tornado warning coming out for this storm specifically, and it is going to include the Piedmont area and Northwest Highway. So Canadian, Logan, Oklahoma, and Canadian, Logan, Oklahoma counties, tornado warning here. This is until 6:45, and so things are getting a little more dicey. So we've got guys on this storm surrounding it. We're going to look at everyone's live shot, but again, Dustin, we're looking at yours. Again, brand new tornado warning here. Again, this does include the Piedmont area. Let me go name some hometowns, and then we're going to take a look at the live shot. This warning essentially includes Piedmont, so there's not a lot of other hometowns out here, but this area spin, it's going to be crossing Northwest Highway. There's the area of spin. You see it's very well pronounced. Spin rate tracker here also showing very well pronounced area of spin crossing Northwest Highway here in essentially the next 5 minutes or so. Peyton, we're trying to get your shot back up. We'll double check that. Dustin, we're looking at your shot. Give us an update. Tell us where you are now. Give us an update.
Yes, William. I am on a country road. Not really sure what road I'm on right now, but it looks like it might be Wilshire. I could be heading east towards Yukon.
Yeah, we've got Peyton shot in, and I hate to interrupt you. I'm going to double box both of these. Peyton, we see it. We've got the wall cloud. Dustin's got it as well. We're going to double box this, so we've got it in both shots here. Wall cloud on both shots. So we've got eyes on it. Peyton, I know you're pretty rural there. Dustin, I'm going to break away just to switch to Peyton for 1 second. This is it. This is it right here, and there is the wall cloud in the center. So we've got this double boxed. We're looking. There's Dustin's shot over here. There it is. Striations. We've got it both ways. Right now, nothing on the ground. We're looking at this two separate ways, Piedmont and from El Reno. And if we can, just keep the shot stable. I know Peyton's trying to work the cam there to get the shot. And so we've got it. Peyton, if you can move it just a little bit further to the up, just a little bit, so we can see that wall cloud. And then also we're watching Dustin. Dustin, if there's any way you can get us a shot back there to your left so we can get the wall cloud back to within range. Peyton, if you can, lift that up just a little bit. I know you've had to kind of rig your camera a little bit to get the shot. and Dustin's about to turn to within range. So here we go. So we've got it two separate ways, wall cloud. And Peyton, if you can, just center the shot. I know you're working as hard as you can to kind of to rig that up. But again, brand new tornado warning here. And again, this is going to be for Canadian, Logan, and Oklahoma County. And so we've got eyes on it. Dustin, great shot. Peyton, great shot. And I know Peyton's really working to center it. And so here we go. We've got it from both different directions, and this is important. So right now, if anything happens, we're going to have eyes on it. We're going to have eyes on it if anything happens. So again, right now, Piedmont Northwest Highway, tornado warning here. Okay, so you need to be taking your immediate tornado precautions. Again, inflow coming in here, base of the storm, wall cloud here. Again, different angle. Here's Peyton. There's the inflow coming in there. Wall cloud back in here. Peyton, you're on the live line. Give us an update. We're going to go to Dustin next. Peyton, from your angle, give us an update.
Hey, William. Okay, so I'm sitting here looking directly into the storm back to my southwest. Raggedy wall cloud was very prominent for a second. You should be able to get my shot coming up right here. There's a clearing in the clouds, but it's a little raggedy. It's trying to get its act better together. I don't know if you can see that now over there just off the cornfield, but it is definitely trying to get its act together. Sirens are going off. The inflow band looks like it's getting a lot stronger. I have a lot of rapid rising scud. But back to you, William.
Yeah, appreciate that update. Dustin, from your angle, you're just on the southern fringes of it. Again, Peyton is just on the eastern fringes of it. Give us an update, Dustin, from your location.
Yes, I am looking northeast at the storm, and it looks like when I first got here that there was some possible vortexes coming out, some fingers coming out. But now, as I've been sitting here for the last minute or two, those have receded back up to the storm, and it looks like it has dissipated a bit. So I think I need to move a little bit to the east to kind of follow this storm, or should I just stay here and is there anything south of me?
If you can't, no, I want you to just keep up with it, but give it just a few more seconds. If we can, just kind of maintain that shot for just a few more seconds. And again, that way we can kind of keep this in view because we need to see if there's an immediate threat. And so this is going to be, okay, so that's going to be something on Peyton's windshield right there. I thought that was going to be a scud cloud over in there, but that right there is just something on his windshield. So nothing concerning there. But again, we've got a shot here of the wall cloud, of the base. Dustin, you may go ahead and have to take off just so you can keep up with it. Again, it's great to have this vantage point because, again, if there was anything coming down, obviously kind of the wider shot there where Dustin is, we could see if there was anything back in there. Right now, there's nothing on the ground. We can see that from both shots. Again, that right there is just something on the window. So even though it looks like there's something hanging down, there's not. But again, we've got guys essentially surrounding this now, obviously with live video there. So we're going to continue to watch this. And again, Peyton's just kind of, again, having to work the camera. So we apologize for that, but he's doing the best he can to maintain the shot. And that's what he's doing. And so Dustin, I know you're going to kind of keep tracking out, try and catch back up with it there. That way you don't lose it. And so again, both of these guys doing a great job. What I want to do just real quickly here, I just want to go back over to radar. And again, just to give everyone a perspective of where we're talking about. So again, just so everyone can see exactly where we're talking about here. And so again, this is going to be across portions of really far eastern, northeastern portions of Canadian County, but it does include Oklahoma County as well. The main area of spin, it's going to be coming in to Piedmont proper. The main area of spin, it's going to be coming into Piedmont proper. And so this is the area of spin right here where the reds and the greens come. It's not necessarily as tight as it was a few minutes ago when the tornado warning was initially issued, but there's the area of spin. It's right back in here. And so again, that's going to be coming into Piedmont, and essentially it's happening right now. Peyton, you're still looking at it. Your eyes on the ground there. Again, Dustin just on the southern fringes of it. By the way, there's the hail core. Guys, heads up on this. This is a extremely damaging hail core. This is also going to be coming into Piedmont. And again, when you're seeing whites and grays, and there's no additional colors here on the hail core tracker, this is a large hail core. It's going to be coming, it's already crossed Northwest Highway, and so it's coming right now into Piedmont. Large damaging hail, tornado warning as well, all of that coming into the Piedmont area. So again, if you're in Piedmont, you've got to be taking your immediate tornado precautions, and again, also shelter for hail, large damaging hail coming in your general vicinity as well. As we're looking at the spin rate tracker, again, it's at this very juncture in time, and this would be good if this trend continues, but at this very juncture in time, the overall spin within the storm, it's easing down just some. That does not take away from the immediate tornado threat. That does not mean you need to come out from your safe place. But again, as we're just kind of analyzing this storm, if you're maybe watching us on the app while you're, again, sheltering wherever you are, again, the best place obviously is in a storm shelter or a basement, safe room, something like that. Again, if you are at home, you don't have one of those things, again, the best thing to do, again, lowest level of your home, building, wherever you are, away from windows, again, wrap yourself in a blanket, put pillows around you, make sure you have on shoes, and make sure you have your wallet as well. But again, make sure you're taking those tornado safety precautions, again, as this is moving into the immediate Piedmont area right now. Let's do this. I want to get another update from Peyton. I know that Dustin is also just on the southern sides of this. Let's go back over to their video. Peyton, you're still looking at this. We'll get Dustin next. What are you seeing from your vantage point right now?
Yeah, William, last time I talked to you, it's a lot raggedier than it was the time before. I think it's kind of going through one of them cycling stages. I'm right here watching it, though. I'm right out here in front of it. Really, no other changes. Like I said, tornado sirens are going off. There is a lot of motion in the clouds, though, a lot of rising scud very quickly. But I'm still here watching it. I'll get back to you as soon as anything happens.
No, I appreciate that update. Let's go to the other side of the screen. Dustin's on the southern sides of it. Again, we just kind of had everything centered up a minute ago. These guys are just trying to keep up with it right now. Peyton, if you're able to get a shot of it again, I know you had to really move kind of quickly there to keep up with it. If you're able to get a shot centered back up, try and do it. I know Dustin is on the southern fringes of it, and he just had to move to keep up with it as well. But Dustin, from your vantage point, tell us where you are now and go and give us another update.
Yes, I'm heading east on a country road. I think it's Wilshire, and it looks like the storm is definitely. I can't really see much from my vantage point. It's getting dark. I do kind of see maybe a little bit of if I roll down my window, I can still see a base, a wall cloud, but it's higher up. But I do not see any vortexes. I don't see any real fingers coming down from where I am. So I'm just going to continue heading east, and as soon as I can find a good place to turn north, I'm going to turn north. And I'm driving on this country road right now, and there is so much water out here. It is insane.
Yeah, and that's the other concern, again, with all the rain that we've had. Again, localized flooding continues to be a concern as well. Peyton, again, on your shot, if you're able to kind of get it back up, just so we can actually get a picture of the wall cloud. Peyton is right there. And so, again, if we're able to kind of get that wall cloud centered back up, I know you're trying to do the best you can, as you're probably in a pretty rural area right there. I'll try and refresh it from here, too, and see if we can get it back in. But at least the bottom line right now at this point in time is tornado warning continues, and it's primarily for the immediate Piedmont area. Again, in general, this is going to be tracking in portions of northwestern Oklahoma County, potentially up towards the Four Corners area. And then if it does hold together and maintain its intensity, it would be tracking up towards Logan County as well. So there's kind of an overview again right now, moving through the immediate Piedmont area, and again potentially into portions of far northwestern Oklahoma County, and then Logan County, crossing Four Corners. Again, if it does hold together, right now the area spin, again, it's just not looking quite as impressive as it was. Again, as we're just looking at velocities, raw velocities at the surface level, and even as I move this up with height, you can see at the mid levels. And what I mean by that is we move the radar beam up from basically from the surface up a little bit higher in the cloud base. You can see there's the area spin, there's the mesocyclone right back in here. Okay, so there it is right back in here. At the surface level, it's not as pronounced as it was, but still at the mid levels, the area spin is still there. So again, we'll see if this is just a cycle that this storm is going through, if it begins to cycle back up, or if it continues to ease down. I can tell you as we go over the next hour or two, conditions are favorable for tornadic activity. We hope that doesn't happen. Hopefully that is not the case, but that's one of the things that we're going to have to watch and watch carefully. So again, bottom line is if you're in the Piedmont area, you've got to be taking those immediate tornado precautions. I can tell you the spin rate is the spin rate is starting to come back up. The area of spin, it's going to be now just north, almost due north now of the Piedmont area. I think we've got your shot back up. We'll take a look at Dustin's shot again coming up momentarily. There's the area spin where we went from all the way back down to red, kind of the lowest level. We're now getting some greens, potentially some yellows mixing in there. Again, the computer letting us know start watching, paying extra special attention to this storm again. The area of spin is beginning to come back up. And again, like I mentioned, it's just north of Piedmont. That's where the main area of concern is. Again, this could come up towards the Four Corners area, and again, even track up towards Logan County. Again, right now in a fairly rural area. There are a lot of folks that live in this area these days, but again, right now still fairly rural, not densely populated. Let's do this here. Again, still looking at the at least the mesocyclone. Again, this is still at the mid-levels. As I move this up through the mid-levels, not looking quite at the surface, but again, here it is. So this is wind moving away from the radar, wind moving towards the radar. Again, you can see it's just a real broad area spin. It's nowhere near as tight as it was earlier. And so if it's not as tight, that does ease down the tornado threat, maybe just momentarily. We'll see how long that lasts. But right now, this is a fairly broad mid-level area of spin. As I move this back down to surface based, as we move the radar beam back down, again, you can see it's just not as pronounced. We have a lot of inbound wind, a lot of bright greens, but the area of spin back into, or the inflow into the storm, is not quite as pronounced here. Peyton, you're still looking at it in real time. Go ahead and give us another update. We'll also check in with Dustin. I think Dustin's shot is about to come back up. But Peyton, give us an update.
Yeah, William, I think what you got going on here is just another little recycle. It looks like there's a new wall cloud trying to form. I'm trying to get in a little better position. I know you had my shot earlier, and now you didn't, but I'm on it. I mean, I'm right here next to it, so we're just kind of watching it cycle. But, man, it really is rotating. I mean, everything up there is spinning really, really tightly, so I wouldn't be surprised if this thing kicks back up real quick.
It looks like it's trying to, especially at the mid-levels. It really looks like it's trying to. Your video may be froze, Peyton. I'm not sure if there's anything you can do about that. I know you're doing the best you can. It gets pretty rural there, and it looks like it may just kind of be intermittently coming in, but we'll take, I think there it goes. I think, okay, it's kicked in now, and so we're looking at it. Let's see if we can take this full. It may just frozen again. Again, folks, we apologize. It's just one of those deals when you're in rural areas. Obviously the cell phone signal stalls from time to time, and that's all we're dealing with there. But again, as soon as the video kicks back in, we will take it immediately. Let's also get an update from Dustin. He's on the southern sides of this storm. Dustin, we're also checking your video. I think it may be just temporarily frozen as well. But again, regardless, from your vantage point on the southern sides of this storm, go ahead and also give us an update.
Yes, William. I am on Foreman Road heading east. I'm just northeast of Yukon, or northwest of Yukon. I think I'm about to come up to north-south road. I'm going to head north there for a little bit, and then I should be coming up to Wilshire Boulevard. And at that point, I should be able to get a good shot for you, and my stream is locked in now if you have it. From where I can see right now, I cannot see any wall cloud. It's just too far north, I think. So I need to get closer.
Yeah, no, and it's some of this right here, and especially from your vantage point where you are, it's just going to be kind of hidden back up there in the rain a little bit. This is a pretty raggedy storm, and again, a lot of times that can be good. Sometimes that can kind of limit the tornadic activity. We hopefully that is going to be the case with this here. That's not necessarily a given, though, obviously. And again, the tornado warning, regardless, does continue. But the main area of spin, it's going to be essentially moving into portions of far northwestern Oklahoma County. And again, that's going to be happening here over the next 10 minutes or so. The storm is moving fairly slow, but again, it's going to be moving there to portions of far northwestern Oklahoma County. Should stay just west of Edmond. But again, you folks in Edmond, heads up on this storm. Definitely want to make sure you're staying weather alert on this storm, again, as it basically approaches your area. But it looks like, again, it should hopefully stay, again, just to the north of the Edmond area. And again, in general, that area spin, it could track as far north as Four Corners, and again, try and come into portions of Logan County. And again, the other main takeaway from the storm, it continues to be this hail core. This hail core is extremely large on the northern sides of Piedmont. Again, that hail core is going to be tracking right up towards Four Corners. Again, golf ball plus size hail, again, quite possible with that storm. Let's do this here. Let's go back over to reflectivity, and we'll just kind of zoom this out. And again, as we do that, we'll go and take Dustin's video. We'll break. Peyton, as soon as you get your video back up, just let us know, and we'll go back over to it. I know Peyton's just kind of dealing with some of the rural
I'm heading north there right now, William, so my shot should be coming in. And this is the north look. I'm looking north at the storm right now on 11th Street, just north of Yukon, about 2 miles.
Okay, and we can even kind of see the striations. I think as soon as you said that, your shot just temporarily kind of froze. But again, it looks like we can even see some of the striations within this. So again, as this whole thing is kind of spinning, you kind of see those little layers there. Again, that's the area of spin, and that's kind of the striations associated with that. So again, Dustin heading to the north, and again, we've got Peyton right there. Again, the problem is it's just so rural. Again, right in this part of the area, this part of the region, if you will, of the state. Again, it's just limited cell phone service. But again, this may be trying to make a bit of a comeback here. It had really eased down and, was kind of breathing out, so to speak. But it looks like on reflectivity, this thing may be trying to ramp back up. Peyton, are you still on the live line with us? It looks like we have a new hook trying to develop almost right on county line. So Oklahoma, Canadian county line. It looks like we have a new hook trying to develop, and velocities are even trying to pick up. Go ahead, Peyton, go.
Yes, 100%. It is definitely getting more intense the last 5 or 6 minutes. I mean, this thing is really getting its act together. The rising scud motion is incredible. I'm trying to get my stream back up, but, man, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing puts one down very, very quickly. I mean, this is more motion than I've seen this thing all day.
Okay, if you can, try and get your stream up. So again,
my shot's coming up right now. My shot is up right now.
Perfect. Let's go and take a look at it. Because again, like I said, it appears to be just a little more concerning on radar here over the last just minute or two. So we're checking your shot, and again, like I said, as soon as it comes in, we'll take it. We're looking at Dustin. He's just on the southern fringes of this storm. Peyton, I don't think we have anything yet. We may just be waiting for it to kick in. Normally it takes just a few seconds, but it looks like we have a new hook coming around, and that's going to be in portions of far northwestern Oklahoma County. This is the new hook that's trying to develop right here. And so there we go. We're getting Peyton's video. It's coming in slow, but we've got it. Let's go and see if we can take it full. So Peyton, go ahead and kind of tell us, go and give us kind of more of a descriptor what you're seeing there. Velocities are coming up, Peyton. This is trying to recycle for sure, right on Canadian Oklahoma County line, just south of Four Corners. Give us an update.
Yes, okay, William. So this thing is still moving pretty decently speed. I'm not going to be able to hang out long. But, man, I got numerous fingers, a lot of motion in the sky, a whole lot of motion in the sky. This has looked more impressive than what I've seen it look all day. It just really seems like it's really starting to get its act together. And honestly, I could see it doing something right here in front of us on the live stream right now.
Yeah, so check your stream again. I don't know if the stream is moving. I think it's kind of frozen. And again, I just apologize. I know you're in a really rural area, and it's just one of those things you have to deal with, and I understand. Again, we do have Dustin coming in there from the south as well. The inbound velocities are increasing on this. It's crossing over the Oklahoma Canadian county line right now. So it's essentially the area of spin. Right now, it's essentially coming into Coffee Creek Road, but again, we're talking about far western Oklahoma County, not in Edmond proper, far western, northwestern Oklahoma County, but the area of spin is essentially right at and just north of Coffee Creek Road. And again, we're talking about the far edges, the far northwestern edges of Oklahoma County. Let me check one other thing here too. We may have a new area of spin also trying to redevelop, but right now the main area of spin, again, it's essentially right there at Coffee Creek Road, the far western corner of Oklahoma County. I want to go back over to the other two box here. Dustin, go and give us an update. I know you're also eyeballing it from your location as well. Go ahead and give us an update from your vantage point.
Yes, William. I am passing Britton Road and Piedmont Road heading north, and there's a good, I mean, I can see from my vantage point that there is definitely a lowering happening right now. There's quite a few cars right now in front of me, and it looks like my stream should be coming in. So I'm going to continue heading north, and if I can head to the east here shortly, I will head up. It looks like there could possibly be a vortex coming down right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at your shot carefully. So we're looking at the wall cloud right there. Let's go back over here, Peyton. If you can check your shot. I know you're working with it diligently. I hate to keep asking you over and over. I know you're doing the best you can, but if there's anything you can do, try and do it. But there may be a little bit of funnel cloud activity trying to develop here. And so we got to watch this carefully. So you're just on the southern fringes. You're doing a great job here, Dustin. Peyton doing a great job as well. Both of our trackers on the storm doing an amazing job, again, tracking this down. But again, we're looking at the wall cloud. It's right in front of us here. And again, it looked like there tried to be a little bit of funnel cloud activity there for a minute. There's the inflow coming in, the tail cloud. So again, as you're imagine looking at the radar, this would be kind of the hook back over in here, the inflow wrapping up in big hail back over in here. And again, this is where the area spin is, right here, essentially at Coffee Creek Road, far western Oklahoma County. Again, not in Edmond, but again, far western Oklahoma County. Again, Dustin, as you're looking at this from your vantage point, again, any changes just over the last few seconds here?
It is trying to come down. I mean, there's definitely just fingers just starting to come down here and there. But I'm not seeing anything on the ground yet. But you should be able to see my shot though. From what I can see right now, it is a small wall cloud. But yeah, I'm going to get as close as I can.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, Dustin.
2 miles south of Piedmont.
Dustin, let me tell you this. This is what we're looking at here. There's a new area spin also coming up. And I want to just quickly, let's switch over to radar. And again, this storm, it's evolving quickly. It's kind of evolving on the fly as we're looking at this. And we're going to kind of leave Dustin's shot up there. As soon as Peyton's shot comes back up, we'll take his as well. But we've got a new hook developing here. And this is going to be near Covell and Rockwell in far western Oklahoma County. This is the new hook. See this right here? This is the new appendage. This is the new hook. We did have an area spin up in here. It's kind of moving back down to the south now. This is the new hook coming up. This one looks a little more concerning to me, Dustin. So we really need, I think your video froze. It's kicked back in. But again, I mean, you've got a great shot of it there. So we really need you to hang with that. But again, we've got a new hook coming up here. And this has come up fairly quickly. And so spin rate tracker even picking up on this now too. Again, this is just happening here within the last 5 minutes. But again, Rockwell and Covell, and again, this is going to be in far western Oklahoma County. There's a new area spin coming up there. And it's very well pronounced on radar. Again, you can see where this hook is. Again, Dustin's looking at it. Oh, again, we'll get back to Peyton. He's right there as well. And again, as soon as his shot comes in, or Peyton, if you have any audio, let us know. But again, Dustin, you're looking at it. This is a great shot. Again, here it is. New hook coming around. This is the old area spin. This is the old inflow here, weakening there. And again, here comes the new hook. This is the next cycle developing right now. And Dustin, are we seeing, I mean, I'm just looking at this through a TV screen. I'm seeing the inflow over here on the far right, but what are we seeing center right in that wall cloud? Is that just the wall cloud, or are you seeing anything trying to spin its way on down from there?
I just stopped right on the Piedmont, Oklahoma City corridor where, I mean, I can't see anything on the ground right now, and it looks like it might be actually dissipating. The wall cloud looks like it might be dissipating a little bit and heading back in. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely I think I can even hear the Piedmont sirens going off from here. So. But yeah, there's some scud coming in, but as of right now, I do not see anything on the ground.
I think the wall cloud has kind of worked its way up. It was a little more pronounced just a second ago. Peyton, you're also right there looking at this as well live. As soon as we get your video in, we're going to take a look at it. I know you're just a little more rural. So we're dealing with that. And these are some of the scud clouds right there lifting up into this too, by the way. This is the inflow back over in here coming into the storm. But Peyton, you're looking at it. Give us a live update as well.
Yes, William. Okay, so I am just now about to cross 74, I believe. No, North Portland. Yeah, 74. I'm about to cross 74, going farther to my east. It is right behind me, but no, I can definitely understand what you're saying about another wall cloud. You can see it spinning up. I haven't seen any like fingers or anything like that, but this thing is really stay in front of it. But I'm having to work on the stream. I just now put it up, so I should be up very, very shortly. But I'm trying to get out in front of this thing a little bit and turn around and give you a shot.
Okay, appreciate that, and great job, Payne. You're doing a great job. Dustin, are we only seeing scud? Again, I'm having to look through this. I'm telling you on radar, it continues to come up, and I'm just having to look through this through a TV screen. But again, the wall cloud back in here, are we just seeing rising motion and scud, or are we seeing a wall cloud redeveloping there? Again, just center right. What are we seeing there?
Yes, there is a wall cloud, and it does appear to be a little bit like scud from my vantage point, but it looks really high up off the ground. So I'm not seeing any real rotation from where I am. I need to get a little bit closer, but I wanted to stop here because my stream looks like it's solid. So I think I'm going to stay here for a little bit longer, and then try to follow it up a little bit further north.
Yeah, no, great idea there. We're just looking at radar here again too. And again, Peyton, he's right there. We'll get another update from him again just momentarily. I think your video just kicked back in, Peyton. And it did. I don't know if you can center your shot up. It's kind of coming in slow here and there. I don't know. It's pointed up. I don't know if you can kind of center it up, and that way we can actually get a vantage point of what you're seeing. I know you're having to multitask, and everyone's having to work really hard here. If you can do that, we'll take your shot as well. But again, even as we're looking at the spin rate, still it's these two pronounced areas of spin. We have the old mesocyclone. We kind of have the new one that continues to come up. You folks, even in North Edmond, you need to stay alert. The tornado warning is not in effect for North Edmond, but if you're in North Edmond, you've got to stay alert to this storm as well. Again, as it continues to track northeasterly, but kind of jawing, if you will, just slightly to the east as well. There's a lot of precipitation debris in this hook, and that might be good for the fact that it might be limiting right now the tornado potential. This is the hook. You can actually see it here. This is where the hook would be, but see some of this precipitation back here in the inflow notch. Again, it's kind of interfering with the tornado genesis that's potentially trying to happen here. But again, this is where the hook would be right here. You can kind of outline it there with the pink. But again, right back up in here, that's where, again, we have the precipitation debris, again, kind of, again, if you will, kind of blocking off or covering, again, kind of that area that's trying to pull in some of that warm, moist, unstable air. But again, we've got two guys there looking at it. And again, right now, neither one of them reporting a tornado on the ground. So that's good. We're going to continue to watch it. Tornado warning continues here. But again, you folks in North Edmond, again, right now, not officially in the tornado warning, but you folks need to pay extra special attention to this storm. And again, we're going to check Peyton's stream. I think it's coming back in potentially here. And Peyton, again, just on the other side. Dust on the southern sides of this, Peyton on the eastern sides of this. And we're going to look at Peyton's stream. We'll just kind of double box these up. Peyton, you're on the live line. Again, you've been eyeballing this. Again, you're a little more rural, so we're just having a little bit more in the way of trouble with your stream. But again, you're essentially right there, far eastern portions of Piedmont. Tell us where you are now. Again, we're looking.
William, I'm up.
There it is. There it is. Okay, there it is. So we're seeing the fingers. We're seeing the scud associated with it. But give us an update from your vantage point. Your video's coming in good now. You may even need to center up there if you can for just a second so we can take that shot. But give us an update. Good work.
Okay, yes, so the wall cloud is very, very apparent now. New circulation, like you said. I am getting some fingers come down from the cloud. Looking to try to get in a little better position here. Chaser convergence is really starting to take over, running into more people the closer and closer I get to this thing. But I should be coming up on a hill, and my service should be good for the next few miles. So I'll get you a better shot and get right back with you. Yeah,
no, great job. So again, we've got eyes on it. Again, two different eyes on it. So again, this is always important. Especially when we're talking about one of these cells. It's just so messy. This storm is just so messy, and it looks like they're going to try and issue. No, it looks like it's still the same tornado warning continues there. They've just kind of moved. They've just kind of realigned it a little bit to keep it within the circulation area. But again, so we're looking at this, and at least right now, the good news is we have not had a confirmed tornado with this. At all. But again, obviously, if you live in these areas where the tornado warning is, it is alarming as it should be. And of course, if you live there in the Piedmont area, you still need to be taking your immediate tornado precautions. And then essentially the main area of spin now, it's essentially right at the end of the tornado warning. So we'll see what the Weather Service does, if they do decide to go ahead and extend that, or if they go and allow that tornado warning for right now to expire. The rotation itself is looking a little messier. And let's see, they're not, right now they don't think they're going to renew it, so we'll continue to watch it. So the tornado warning will continue until it expires, but right now the Weather Service not renewing it at this point. Okay, so that's what they're saying. Obviously, when you have a wall cloud like this here, you got to keep your eyes on it. But again, just looking at radar, it really ramped up. It ramped up quick, and that's the thing today. These things can ramp up quickly. And, that's why you've really got to take days like today serious, because when we say fast changing weather conditions, if you've lived in Oklahoma very long, things can change just like that. And that's what happened with this storm. Again, we went from talking about some quarter to $half size hail to larger than golf ball Oh, and by the way, a tornado warning on it as well, and it happened that fast. But again, luckily, again, our dedicated team of storm trackers, again, they were right there on it, and again, doing an amazing job bringing us the video, because again, if a tornado warning is issued, yes, you got to take your tornado precautions, but we also need a visual to see what's going on and ground verify with radar as well. But again, that's what we're doing. So Peyton, we continue to watch your stream. Again, it's just, and again, it looks like you maybe have to take a corner there, which is fine, it happens. But again, so the main area of spin, it's just right there off camera left. The wall cloud, just from what I saw, it was looking a little more raggedy. It's looking a little more raggedy on radar. Hopefully this is a good trend, but you're still right there driving. You're looking at it. Again, give us another update from your vantage point.
Yeah, William, you hit that right on the head. It is getting pretty raggedy. I'm sorry. I had to get a little farther east in front of this thing. I actually ran into Val and the chase of hoarders that are following him. So I'm a little jammed up in traffic out here still, but I'm trying to get around it. So I'll get you a shot as soon as I can.
Okay, now we saw you had to kind of take a quick curve there, so that's all right. So we'll get that centered back up. Dustin, I want to go to you. You're on the southern fringes of that storm. I know you're still looking at it from your vantage point. You've essentially been on the southern sides of it as we've gone through the night. What are you seeing on it right now? Give us an update from your location as well.
Yes, well, I just turned north on Morgan Road. I made it all the way to the Kilpatrick Turnpike. I'm going to head north on Morgan Road, and I'm pretty far away from it. So from where I am, I can't really see much. But I can see the base of the storm, but I cannot really make out a wall cloud anywhere at this point.
It looks, the wall cloud, even from radar here, looks quite a bit more raggedy. And we're going to take radar full here and just kind of give everybody a different perspective, because again, as we're kind of looking at the live video here, I also want to keep this in perspective with radar, and again, kind of show everybody where we're talking about as well. But again, right now, the main area of concern, it's essentially right on the county line now of Oklahoma and Logan County. This storm that was moving so slow has kind of picked up speed, and now it's kind of moving fairly quickly, if you will, up into portions of Logan County. So again, you folks up there in far southern Logan County, essentially as far south as Seward, but as far north as Guthrie, again, you've got to stay alert to the storm, and again, the potential at least for some fast changing weather conditions again as this comes in. But at least right now, the tornado warning officially continues for far northwestern Oklahoma County, but the main area of spin, it's essentially moving out of there. The Weather Service saying they're just going to allow that tornado warning right now to expire, and then again, if anything changes, they'll pick that back up with the new warning. So let's do this. Let's go and switch over. We'll just kind of double box again the tracker feeds there on the left-hand side, and again, we'll take a look at the storm full. And so at least right now, tornado warning does continue. So as we're looking at this live here on radar, again, pretty evident this is a supercell. Again, heavy rain, hail back up in here, and again, this is the hook. This is the area of concern right back in here. And again, this storm as near to El Reno. Again, we hate to say El Reno, obviously what's happened over the last several days there. This storm quickly intensified, developed a hook, and here in the forecast center, we all had to hold our breath for a few minutes as it went through the El Reno area. Luckily, that circulation weakened quickly, but then we had a new circulation redevelop up in the core of the storm, and that's essentially what we've been dealing with now for about the last 30, 45 minutes or so. This is the hook right here. This is the main area of concern, but on radar, the storm just not looking as impressive as it was. We're saying that in a good way as we're analyzing the storm in real time. As the storm looks a little raggedy and not quite as impressive, that's always a good thing. But as we know, things can change fairly quickly, and that's why we continue to monitor this. Let me go back to velocities. And again, as I do that, you can see it's just a broad area of spin. And when I say broad area of spin, you say, well, how do we know what that means? And what exactly does that mean? Well, let me tell you. So as you're looking at this, the different colors here, the reds and greens, the radar site is down here in Cleveland County. And so red is air moving away from the radar. So these reds are moving away. Green are inbound towards the radar. So you can see away in. This is a real broad area of spin right there. It's not tight. Typically, when you're a little more concerned about imminent tornadic activity, you have a tighter, what we call couplet, where the reds and greens come together. So this is a fairly broad area, and it's not quite as hot. And what I mean by hot is the colors aren't as bright. If you get a hot couplet, bright reds, bright greens, that's when your eyes get a little bit bigger when you're looking at the radar. So right now, is there a broad area of spin? Is there still a mesocyclone? Could there be some type of tornadic threat with this? The answer is yes, but again, It's just nowhere near as concerning as it was maybe 30 minutes ago. Now, can that change quickly, just like we saw with this storm 45 minutes ago? Yes, that can change absolutely very quickly. Let's go back to the spin rate. And again, as we do that, the spin rate looking just a little more impressive than it has. And so again, this specific product, where this specific product here showing us the reds and the greens, different than velocities, this is where the computer thinks the area of spin is. And what it's showing us, this is County Line Road right here, Oklahoma County, Logan County, there's Guthrie, there's Seward, there's I-35 here. And so there's the area of sprint spin where the brightest green is here, and that's going to be approaching just south of Seward, and it's going to be approaching the I-35 corridor, again, if it basically holds together and maintains its strength over the next 20 or 30 minutes. So again, right now, the main area of spin, the main area of concern, it's beginning to push into portions of Logan County and specifically the Seward area. Now, you folks in Seward are not under a tornado warning, but if I was in Seward to the south, back down towards I-35, I would really be watching the storm quite carefully. Now, here's the one thing we've noticed, and this can also tell us, again, if a storm is strengthening or weakening, it's the hail core. And the reason why is because as you have a stronger mesocyclone, a stronger area of spin, it will suspend the hail longer, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until finally the updraft can't support it, and it finally drops as large hail. And earlier we probably had larger than golf balls. Right now, this hail core, again, not looking as impressive, and a lot of times that's at least an indication that the mesocyclone, the area of spin, it's not as healthy, it's not as strong as it was earlier, and I think right now that is the case. Let's go back to the trackers. First with Peyton, because Peyton, you're right there. Tell us where you are now and give us a quick update on this storm.
Yeah, William, so I'm coming up, trying to get to I-35 as quick as possible and then get back north in front of this thing. Just by looking up a few radar scans, like you were saying, it has gotten weaker. I mean, the wall side's still in there, but it's not as apparent or as in motion as it was earlier. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing suck that tail back up in there, though, eat this original one and then form a new circulation just by the last few radar scans and just what I'm seeing visually. But back to you, William.
Just a quick update for the folks in Oklahoma City. Apparently, the Oklahoma City sirens have failed. The Oklahoma City, they have their sector sirens where they're able to sound sirens in different parts of the city as opposed to sounding them all around the city. And apparently, the sirens in Oklahoma City have failed. The sirens in Oklahoma City have failed, so there were no sirens apparently that went off in Oklahoma City. This kind of just skirted portions of Oklahoma City proper. I believe the sirens sounded in Edmond, they sounded in Yukon, they sounded in Reno, Piedmont. But again, right now, the report coming in here is that the sirens in Oklahoma City proper have failed. So just getting that bit of information in here as well. Now, I can tell you guys, and we're going to check back in with Dustin. Dustin's also eyeballing this. The area of spin may be increasing just slightly in the last two sweeps that have come in. Let me just back this up. And it's not as impressive as it was, but I can tell you the southern fringes of this, the area of spin, we'll say it's maintaining itself, and it's just south of Seward. Dustin, you're still eyeballing this from your vantage point. Again, you're just on the southern fringes of this. Give us an update. Tell us what you're seeing. But it looks like, again, just maybe a slight notch, this area of spin is maybe increasing, and that's something we need to track carefully. And by the way, here comes the hail core back up too. Again, this is one of the things we really watch with these mesocyclones. It's the hail core. As they weaken, the hail core eases down and gets smaller. But again, as this mesocyclone, as it begins to spin back up, the hail's suspended and it gets bigger. And here we go. Here comes the hail core now associated with this as well. Guys, I think this is trying to ramp back up. And so if you live in the Seward area and as far north as Guthrie and that I-35 corridor there, heads up on this storm. You got to pay extra special attention to this storm. Guys, give us an update. Again, the tornado warning's been allowed to expire for northwestern Oklahoma County. But again, right now it's severe, but we're watching this carefully there, especially around the Seward area. Dustin, give us an update.
Yes, William, I'm on Council Road in 150th trying to catch up to the storm. And as far as where I am, I can't really see where this new spin is coming up. But my goal is to just head down 150th east. I'm heading east right now, and to try and get a better shot of the storm. As far as what I can see currently right now, I can just see the back end of the storm. It's a high base, and nothing is really, I can't really see a wall cloud at this point.
Appreciate that update. Dustin doing a phenomenal job there. Really, really good job. I want to check back in with Peyton. Peyton being just a little bit closer. By the way, we've got a new flash flood warning. This is going to be for Caddo, Comanche, Grady, and Stevens County. That's going to be down in southwestern Oklahoma. Heavy rain falling there. We'll take a look at the rain down there for you folks down there momentarily. But again, a new flash flood warning till 9:30. Caddo, Comanche, Grady, and Stevens County in southwestern Oklahoma. Heads up, flash flood warning there. Peyton, let's check back in with you quickly here. I know you're just a little bit closer to the storm. Last report was it was looking a little raggedy. South of Seward, the rotation has come up just some. It's still pretty elongated though. Give me an update.
Yeah, William. So my back's been turned to the storm for probably about 10 minutes now. I've been trying to get up here to 35. We're just now getting up here to 35. But no, that's what I was kind of trying to get to you earlier about was I think that what's going to happen is that's going to hook that other end back up in. Just from looking at it visually, it kind of looks like it's starting to get more of that look to it. I'm about to get back on 35 and bust north, though, and I'll give you a better shot. But I should have good service from here on out.
Okay, perfect. And so we're just kind of watching everyone's feeds coming in here, and Peyton's is a little bit intermittent, but again, he's been doing the best they can. They've gone through really rural areas, so again, they're just doing the absolute best they can. But again, great work from our team of Storm Tracker. There's no doubt about it. Again, as that tornado warning was initially issued, and the storm at that point was really looking concerning. Again, we had both guys with live shots on it. And again, they've essentially done the best they can to maintain it as the storm continues to lift off there to the north. And again, even up towards, potentially now towards the Seward area, heavy rain up in the Guthrie area too. I want to go back down to the south. And again, what I want to do, let's go take a look at what we have going on down here. We've got a new flash flood warning. I don't want to forget about our friends down here in southern and southwestern Oklahoma. Again, every bit as important. Again, the only reason why we haven't necessarily been talking about this is because we were dealing with the tornado warning. Obviously, anytime there's a tornado warning, just like if there was a tornado warning for your hometown, you would want continuous coverage on that. We're still watching that storm carefully there, lifting into Logan County. I want to look down here to the south, though. And again, this is where we have the new flash flood warning. And this is going to be down here across portions of, there's Grady County, there's far eastern Caddo County, Comanche County, and there's Stevens County. So severe thunderstorm warning here too. We'll take a look at the hail core tracker. This is just kind of what we call a linear line here of storms. Severe weather intermittent here, basically from Chickasha all the way down through Rush Springs. Locally heavy rain, and there's that new flash flood warning. Let me go and pause the animation, and that last frame will show you that new flash flood warning. And again, folks, with all the heavy rain we've had recently, the one thing you can't take lightly is these flash flood warnings. Again, we've had roads washed out. We've had significant, not to dramatize, but life-threatening flash flooding, and that's been a real statement that's happened over the last several days. But again, essentially Caddo County there, that Aqua Polygon takes in portions of far northwestern Stevens County. That's a new flash flood warning. If you see water, don't drive into it. Stay away from moving water. Turn around. Don't drown. Again, that's the old saying there from the Weather Service. But again, this storm, it is severe here, and so this is in portions of Grady County, and basically from Ninnekah all the way down through Chickasha. Let's take a look at this. We'll get back up to the storms in the north coming up here momentarily, but let's take a look at this here. This may try and come up in portions of Cleveland County if it does hold together and maintain its intensity. It's moving a little more to the east, so this will try and approach the I-35 corridor. But again, from Ninnekah all the way down through Agram, all the way back down through Rush Springs, Marlow, again, heads up, severe thunderstorm warning here. And again, like I said, there is an opportunity of hail. And man, oh man, look at that hail core down by Rush Springs. Let's go and take a look inside of this storm here too. And again, yeah, look at that right there. So we do have a broad area spin. Anytime you see a hail core like that, it always catches your attention because it just kind of comes out of nowhere. You wouldn't expect to see a hail core like that just within a linear line of storms, right? Like a hail core up to the size of golf balls, which is coming through Rush Springs. But look what we have going on here. This is a broad area of spin. It's not super pronounced, it's not super concerning, but again, just like we've been talking about, these mesocyclones, as they spin and they hold the hail longer and longer until the updraft can't support it and it finally falls, that's where you get the larger hailstones and mesocyclones, and that's what's happening right here around Rush Springs. Now, there is a tornado watch in effect, and we do have a broad area of spin, so we've got to keep our eye on this storm here too, but the reason why that hail core just sticks out of what again, you think maybe some quarters, half dollars, and boom, all of a sudden you see pinks and whites. Those are golf balls. And so there's an opportunity of golf ball size hail coming there into Highway 81 just south of Rush Springs. You folks in Rush Springs, stay away from your windows. Again, as these storms come through, again, you can have some blown out windows with golf ball size hail. Again, coming right through Highway 81, Rush Springs to the south. And again, that's happening right now. A little bit of an inflow notch here too. I tell you what, this storm, we've got to keep our eye on it. There's the inflow notch right there into that mesocyclone. So as you're looking at reflectivity, see this little thing that sticks out? See, you would think this would kind of follow the same path. This is the inflow. This is the warm, moist air coming into the storm, and you can actually see the curvature. See how the hail, see how that's being spun around into it? So again, that's something we got to watch there carefully going forward. We've got one of the trackers. Go ahead. Is this Peyton? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Peyton, hey, wall cloud's very apparent here. Heading north on 35. Wall cloud is very apparent. It looks a lot better than what it did. I'm seeing a lot of rotation right now, a whole lot of rotation.
Okay.
I'm going to get up here and get on Highway 33 and go to my northeast. There's a bunch of high spots up there. So, but dude, I'm seeing a lot of rising scud.
Okay.
A whole lot of rising scud right now.
Okay, let's take a look here. I think your stream may have froze for 1 second. Let's go and take a look at your stream. As soon as it comes back in, we'll pop it up full. And again, this is still that supercell we've been dealing with. This is the one that was tornado warned. Let's go and take a look back inside of it. Yeah, you know what? I tell you what, that area spin, we say hotter colors. There it is. It's just south of Guthrie. The main area spin right now, Peyton. Let's take Peyton's shot full. Where is that wall cloud? Where is that wall cloud right now? The main area spin, it's coming in on the southern sides of Guthrie. There's no tornado warning. It's not necessarily an immediate tornado threat right this second, but we're getting some hotter velocities. There's a tight couplet. It's a multi-pixel couplet.
Hey, William, can you hear me?
Yes, go.
A lot of scud, whole lot of scud. It's pulling it up just off the ground. I'd be surprised if this thing didn't put one down real quick. I'm just parallel to it. I just passed through Guthrie, trying to get a little farther north of it. But definitely this thing is wrapped up tight. It is really, really tight right now. I'm trying to get my shot live.
Yeah, get your shot up. If you can, get the shot up. The area spin, it's really on the southern sides of Guthrie right now, Peyton. And let's go back over here. As soon as you get your shot up, let us know. We want to take it full when you get it up. But here we have this little hot velocity couplet. And when I say hot velocity, that means bright reds and bright greens. That means brighter, higher velocities. And this is it right here. This is the same one that was tornado warned earlier. But this area spin right in here, it's come up. And Peyton, try and get your shot up as soon as possible. Peyton's shot will be down here. We'll take it full as soon as he gets it up. You folks in Guthrie, heads up on this. I-35 here. There's old 77 if you're coming in on the southern sides of Guthrie. But this area spin, it's come up fairly quickly. And again, this is... Go, Peyton.
Okay, hey, William, like I said, still cruising north on 35. I do have my shot up now. It's just to the west of me right now. I'm on I-40, on I-35, I'm sorry. I'm on I-35, still going north. I have it right out my window right now. It looks very imminent to producing, very, very imminent.
Okay, we're just waiting on your video. Just double check your video. That way we can see what's going on. But on radar, it's looking fairly impressive. Right now, your video's still frozen, Peyton. So I don't know if you can maybe get to a stopping point just so we can get a look at what's going on. But again, right now, there's no official tornado warning from the Weather Service. But again, the area of spin has definitely come up. Sirens are now going off in Guthrie. The Guthrie Emergency Manager is now sounding the sirens in Guthrie. I think it's safe to say if you're in Guthrie, sirens going off, take your tornado precautions if you're in Guthrie. Peyton, can you get your stream up? If you can, try and get your stream
I'm
up.
heading north on
Yes,
10.
yes, William, yes, sorry, yes. I'm working on it right now.
Okay, as soon as you get up, we'll take it. But again, right now, sirens going off in Guthrie. And again, no official warning from the Weather Service, but I can tell you right now, this is the area's spin. It's looking a little concerning here from the forecast center. And so here's Guthrie. Here's I-35. There's old 77 coming in on the southern sides of Guthrie. It's this what we call hot couplet, and the reason why we call it hot, it's bright colors, bright red, bright green. It's coming together. We've got a hot couplet coming together, southern sides of Guthrie. And so if you live in Guthrie proper, again, Logan County sounding their sirens, it's for Guthrie. And again, this area spin, it's coming in. Peyton, what do you have on it? We're waiting on your video, but you're still looking at it there in real time. Give us an update from your vantage point.
Yes, William, yes. I'm still cruising north, about to get over here on 33. Rotation is rapid, though. Rotation is rapid just off my shoulder, facing back to the southwest. I'm trying to get you in a better vantage point so I can turn around and give you a shot.
Okay, as soon as you get the shot, we'll take it full. As soon as you get the shot, we'll take it full. And so again, just as we have a new sweep, there's the spin
William,
rate
I'm about to get a good shot. I'm on 178th and 10 Ave heading north, and I'm about to get a good shot. I can barely see this wall cloud, but I'm about to get a good one. So.
Okay. We've got I think we've got your video coming in. Peyton's right there. We're just waiting on his. As soon as we get either one of those, we'll take them. But the latest on radar, you can see there's the spin rate coming right into Guthrie. And so again, you folks in Guthrie, like I said, the sirens are going off. Logan County sirens going off in Guthrie. They're sounding the sirens. If you're in Guthrie, you need to take your immediate tornado precautions. Again, officially from the National Weather Service in Norman, there has not been a tornado warning issued officially from the Weather Service in Norman. Again, there's Dustin shot. We'll take a look at it. Peyton, he's rural. He's about to get a shot popped up. He's working on it right now. Sirens, Guthrie, they went ahead and determined without the Weather Service issuing a tornado warning, they were going to go and sound the sirens that this is looking ominous enough for them. There's the spin rate right there. And again, that's coming into Guthrie. Now, I can tell you this is red and green. A lot of times when we get into the yellows, that's when there's more of an immediate threat of a tornado. But again, regardless if the sirens are going off, you need to go and take your immediate tornado precautions, again, if you are in the Guthrie area. This is going to cross directly across essentially the town of Guthrie, through the entire town, this area spin. And again, on radar, this is looking a little more pronounced than it has over the last 15 minutes or so. So again, you need to go to the lowest level of your home building that you're in, stay away from windows. You need to wrap yourself in a blanket if you have that. Pillows around your head if possible. If you have any kind of eye protection, even glasses, put those on. Protect your eyes. Make sure you have shoes on, tennis shoes on, and make sure you have a wallet or billfold with your identification. Do those things quickly, and again, take your immediate tornado precautions. Again, sirens are sounding in Guthrie, and again, on radar, this is looking a little more ominous. We've got storm trackers there in the area. We're looking at Dustin's video. Peyton's right there. We're still just having a little trouble with his video. There's the new sweep. Again, not looking quite as ominous as it was, but there's the area spin. It's going through South Guthrie right now. Sirens are going off again in Guthrie. They've hit the sirens again. They're going off again in Guthrie. Peyton, you're still there looking at it. Give me another update.
Hey, William, my shot should be coming through very, very quickly, but I'm perched up perfectly to see this thing go down.
Okay.
It's getting very low.
Okay.
Rotation's still increasing.
Yeah, the Weather Service is going to issue a warning. Peyton, and I apologize for interrupting you. The Weather Service, they're going to go and issue a warning now, tornado warning coming out, and this is going to be for Guthrie. So we're looking at your video, Peyton. It's intermittent. We're trying to get it in. Okay, here we go. If you center that shot up, there it is. Hey, Peyton, if you can, just keep that centered up, and if you can, stay right there. Perfect. There it is. Okay, so right now it doesn't look like it's on. If you can, just I know you're doing the best you can, but move it up just a little bit and then center it up. And if you can, tilt it up just a little bit. I know you had to kind of move the camera to get that shot. Move it up just slightly so we can see the bottom of this. We need to see if there is any kind of, okay, so there we go. So there it is. We're looking live at Guthrie. And if you can, just try and hold that shot steady. Move it up just a little bit more. And folks, I apologize. He had to, move his camera around off of where it normally sits in order to get that shot. But again, move it up so we can see the bottom. We don't need to see the cloud. We need to see the bottom, and if we have any kind of vortex coming down. And I know he's working that the best that he can. But again, there we go. We're looking in the Guthrie area. Let's switch back over to this other shot here. And Peyton, if you can, just keep working with that shot. We need to see the bottom of it if there's anything coming down. Here comes that tornado warning. It's coming out right now for Guthrie. And there we go, Peyton. If you can get it just like that, that's what we need right there. That's what we need right there. So, okay. So we're looking at your shot. Give us an update. You've got a great vantage point. Dustin, I see your shot as well. We're going to take it. So we have some condensate. That's mainly scud cloud working its way down. But give us an update, Peyton. Great job on that.
Okay, William, it looks like it's trying to produce right here in front of us. If you look at that finger, it is spinning a lot quicker. We're getting a lot more spin in the clouds right here. It should happen within the next few minutes right in front of us. Yeah,
even on radar here, it's definitely come up. So let's just, if we can, maintain that shot. Lots of condensate there. Again, at this point in time, nothing completely reaching the ground. The motion, it looks like, I'm just trying to watch your video in real time here. The motion looks like it's increasing as well. The area spin, this is going to be, where are you at exactly? It looks like this is going to be just south and just east of the Guthrie area now, Peyton. Where are you at exactly?
Yes, okay, I'm on Highway 33 facing back to my southwest. I got off just after Guthrie and came up this way right up on Highway 33, but that's where I'm sitting right now, is Highway 33.
Okay, perfect. I mean, you're in perfect position. Dustin, I see your shot. Quickly, Dustin, I mean, we've got this double boxed. So we've got this storm surrounded, just like General here. Dustin, if you can, I think Dustin just moved away from his shot. He just turned it, but Dustin did have a shot there. Let's get an update from Dustin quickly. Dustin, from your vantage point, give us an update.
Yes, William. I've actually moved from that shot just because there was I was pretty far away from it. So I'm heading east right now to get closer. I was wondering, is Peyton's shot up or not?
I believe his shot is up and moving. So we've got Peyton's shot. It's stable right there. So we've got Peyton's shot stable,
good.
And we're looking at yours. So we're kind of double boxing both of these. We're going to watch both of them. But again, Peyton, you're our eyes there in the field in real time. Again, we're watching. So again, we saw some condensate try and work its way down earlier. You can see rapid motion here, so we can see the motion within it. But at least right now, again, minus some scud tags. These are what you call scud tags with some condensate trying to work its way down. Peyton, camera left right there. Is that going to be a funnel trying to work its way down? You've got it. You just centered it up. When you moved it, you centered it. Do we have a funnel trying to spin up right there in the center of the shot? And can you see a clean visual at the bottom to see if we get a vortex below it? But it looks like we have a funnel trying to spin up right there, camera center in your shot. It's looking a little more raggedy. We're watching it in real time here, but again, we're watching for any kind of vortex on the ground. The condensate doesn't have to come all the way down. It's looking more raggedy now. It's not looking as impressive, but we had a funnel at least trying to begin to develop right there in front of our eyes. Peyton, give us an update.
Yes, William, yes, there was a funnel. It kind of went back raggedy. It's trying. I'm about to have to get in better position, though. This thing's going to overtake me, but yeah, I mean, everything up here is spinning. It is spinning like a top. It is trying to get it back together. It's trying to do something.
If you can, stay there just a little bit longer. It's getting a little bit closer to you, but for right now, the way it looks on here, you're okay. Stay there just a little bit longer. I'm looking at the velocities. They're easing down some, and this may be good. This may be good, and we may be seeing it in real time here as well, that the velocities may be easing down. The funnel that we had looks like that funnel condensate is essentially gone away. So the funnel condensate we had, if you saw this was maybe 2 minutes ago at the very most, we had a funnel developing, and we were trying to see if we did have any contact with the ground, any vortex activity at the ground. That's essentially eased back and gone away now. So we're still looking at the wall cloud here, lots of tags hanging down, lots of scud, rapid rising motion and twisting here. But again, the funnel that we had just literally 2 minutes ago, it never made its way all the way down. So we only had funnel cloud activity, not an actual tornado. But again, it's just not as pronounced as it was. Now the wall cloud is still real pronounced. The wall cloud is still there. And on radar, this storm still looks impressive, but the velocities on radar have just eased down a notch. So Peyton, you're still looking at it live there in real time. Again, you're essentially our eyes in the ground. We're just kind of cross-verifying everything you're seeing with radar here as well. Give us an update from your location.
Sorry, William, I was trying to turn around. I'm getting blasted with rain now. A little bit of hail so far, but I'm getting blasted with rain. Trying to get out of these rain bands, but I would say winds are easily gusting 50, 60 miles an hour easily, just off the leading edge of that. Trying to get back in position, but still a lot of tags, a lot of motion, a lot of movement in the sky. I'll get back with you when I get a better shot.
No, you're doing a great job, Peyton, and that was a great shot you had right there. Again, if there was anything on the ground, again, we would have had it right there. And again, you can still see his shot. Again, there it is. I'm just quickly looking here at radar as well. And again, there's Peyton's shot right there. We'll take that full. And so Peyton, again, I know you're looking through the rain there. Again, if anything changes in the rain, just let us know. So again, we're still looking at it full. I was just looking at radar there. Again, it's just not still looking quite as impressive on radar. Again, this is the base. This is the wall cloud here. Again, maybe 5 minutes ago, we did have some funnel cloud activity. It was trying to work its way down, but again, it didn't happen, and that's good. It didn't happen, and that's good. But we did have some intermittent funnel cloud activity. And so again, we're just watching this in real time. Peyton is right there. We've also got Dustin on the southern sides of this storm as well. So again, we've got two guys watching this carefully. Again, right now, moving into portions of north central Oklahoma. Our friends in south central Oklahoma, still severe thunderstorm warnings down there. We're not forgetting about you. We'll get back to those momentarily. But again, right now, we really need to focus in on this tornadic activity, or this tornado warning that continues up here across portions of Logan County. So again, from Guthrie all the way back over through Meridian, and again, even if you're as far east as Langston, out there on Highway 33, this is a heads up for you. Peyton, I tell you what, this is wrapping back up. This is beginning to strengthen again. It's cycled, this is cycled. Folks, let me tell you this. A lot of times we call these cyclic supercells. They'll cycle up and they'll cycle down, and they'll cycle up and they'll cycle down, and they eventually end up going on to produce tornadic activity. I hope that's not the case. I hope that's not the case. But Peyton, I've got a new hook coming up on this, and it's stronger than it was. We're looking at your video. Let me go. Let's go back here. Let's go back to the 3 box. And if anything changes out there, let me know. But I can tell you, a lot of times with these cyclic supercells, and I hope this is not the case, heaven forbid here, but look at this hook. This is the most pronounced it's been all day. All day. So again, these cyclic supercells, again, just like I was saying, they'll cycle up, they'll cycle down, they'll cycle up, they'll cycle down. They kind of come to the brink of producing tornadic activity. It never happens, and then eventually they do. And I can tell you, over the next hour or so, what we call the low-level jet, it's going to be increasing, and low-level jet a lot of times will enhance the tornadic potential. This hook is looking more concerning. So even though Peyton's there, we're looking at a shot. I mean, there's nothing on the ground right now. We had funnel cloud activity moments ago. It didn't happen. It didn't produce a tornado, only funnel cloud activity. He's right there watching it. It's just, to me, this looks more concerning. This really looks to be the most concerning it's looked all day. And that's not necessarily an immediate threat, but it's just as the storm structure is really coming together now. I'm worried about this storm, again, as it continues to approach Langston. We've got a new warning coming in. Let me go and take a look at this. Peyton, and you're still there. Let's go back to your live shot. While I'm looking at the new warning coming in, give us an update. Tell us, again, exactly where you are. I believe you're right there on 33, maybe tracking towards Langston. You folks in Langston, this is a big heads up. If you live from Meridian to Langston, anywhere in between in those rural areas, this is a big heads up for you folks on this storm. But Peyton, go ahead.
Yes, William. Okay, so I just went through Langston. I'm going up towards Coyle. At Coyle, I'm going to turn around and try to get a little farther ahead of this thing and give you a better shot. But no, I can definitely understand what you're talking about on the radar. It does look a lot sharper than what it looked, and just even storm-wise.
Peyton, did you say you're over by Langston?
A lot sharper than what it had looked.
Peyton, did you say you're over by Langston?
Yes, just came through Langston, almost up to Coyle.
Peyton, if I was you, I would stop there. You've got to turn around and shoot back to the southwest. You're far enough to the north. This thing is still multiple. It's about 10 miles still back to your west. I would stop there. You've got to get us a shot here coming back, and let's switch off of that. You've got to get us a shot back to the southwest. You've got plenty of space now. You've got plenty of time to move. But this thing, it's coming up, and it's just, to me, it's the most concerning it's looked all day. And again, as this hook continues to intensify, if you can stop where you are, make sure you're within data range. You're not too rural, but shoot back to the southwest. Get us a shot back to the southwest, and let's watch this thing as it comes in. But I'm telling you what, you folks from Meridian to Langston, I would definitely watch as this begins to approach from the west. Just the structure of the storm, this is the meanest it's looked all day. So we've really got to pay extra special attention, and especially as this low-level jet's coming in. We don't want to dramatize this or overhype it, but I can tell you what, tornado warning continues here, and it just, it's looking a little more intense here on radar, I can tell you. So Peyton's going to center that shot back up, and we'll be able to look off there to the northwest. As soon as he gets it centered, we'll take it. And let's do this as well. Quickly, I want to go down to the south. We're going to get right back down to Peyton's shot, but we do have new severe thunderstorm warnings down here. And again, this is going to be for some activity coming into the far southern sides of the metro, maybe as far north as Norman, but Noble, Purcell, Wayne, the I-35 corridor, Maysville, Purdy, Lindsey. Severe thunderstorm warning here. This is going to be until 7:45. Let me look in this storm quickly here as well. There's some broad spin with this one. There's a weak mesocyclone. It's going to be approaching.
Hey, William, are you getting my shot?
Yeah, it's intermittently coming in, Peyton. Let me try and take it full here momentarily. We're going to get right back to that. Our friends in South Central Oklahoma, again, between Cox City, Kreiner, Lindsey, Maysville, Wayne, Purcell, Slaughterville, heads up. This is currently a severe thunderstorm warning. And again, this is going to be for half-dollar size hail. There is broad rotation in this storm just east of Rush Springs. You folks from Noble to Purcell to Wayne to Pauls Valley, all the way back to Lindsey, stay alert to that storm. I want to get back up to this one, and this one just, again, on radar really doesn't look good. So there's the shot right there. There's Peyton's shot. And again, so we've got the wall cloud. And Peyton, if you can, just try and stay within range. It's your video, it's kind of coming in and kind of not. We're doing the best we can. So Peyton's up around the Langston area now. And again, if you can, just kind of center it back up there with the wall cloud. We see the motion, but I think you've got to turn your camera. Then again, Peyton's had to move his camera off of where it normally sits just to kind of get the shot, so to speak. That's why it's so intermittent here. So just bear with us a minute while he's trying to do that. We'll come back to...
Yeah, William, I can hear you, buddy. I'm doing what I can. This thing is moving so quick. By the time I get out in front of it and get turned back around, it's already back on top of me.
Yeah.
Rain and hail, though. It's really raining hard. The hail, we're starting to get a little pea-sized hail in here as well. As soon as I get up here to coil, I'll give you a better shot.
Yeah, okay, so Peyton's going to continue going. I think it may be trying to come in now. And again, like I said, he's just doing the best he can. I think, let's see what we got here. And but right now, there's nothing on the ground. Is that correct, Peyton? From your vantage point, there's nothing on the ground right now? Okay, and so we're just, and like I said, Peyton just really and you can tell he's doing the best he can, kind of juggling that camera. He's trying to get a shot. He's going to get a little bit further to the north, and then he'll get turned around, and he'll get us a better shot of that. But again, regardless, again, if you're between Meridian and Langston University there in Logan County, you've got to be taking your immediate tornado precautions. And so I think Peyton's video is coming in a little bit better now, but again, I think he's going to track a little bit further off to the east and then get turned around. So let's see. I think there's a new tornado warning also going to come out, folks, to the south. That other storm we were talking about, pay extra special attention to. Looks like the Weather Service is going to issue a tornado warning on that. And that's going to be down here around the Lindsey area. So you folks down here in South Central Oklahoma, heads up as well. That was the storm we were just talking about. This is going to be a new tornado warning coming out on this one as well until 7:30. Let's see, Peyton, as soon as you get turned around, just let me know and we'll take your shot. And we'll see what's going on up there again around the Guthrie, east of Guthrie, Langston, and Meridian area. This is a new tornado warning, though, down here to the south. And again, this is going to include the Lindsey area. And look at this new hook coming up. This is what we were just talking about. So essentially from Lindsey to Kreiner, all the way, Purcell, you're not included in the warning. But if I was in Purcell, I would really be monitoring this storm carefully. And again, there's the area spin. It's going to be coming up here. It's going to be coming up here on Highway 19. And that will eventually be crossing from Grady County into portions of McLean County. Yes, Peyton, go ahead.
Hey, okay, I got it right here in front of me, man. Picking up hail. I'm getting probably quarter-size hail right now. We're getting pelted, but I do have it crossing the road right here in front of me. Very good angle. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it is crossing right in front of me.
Okay, and you're talking about the wall cloud. Give us an update. All right, let's go and get your shot pulled up here.
Yes, wall cloud right in front of me.
So, yep,
it does not look as good as it did look.
There it is.
But it is still there. It is still there.
Okay, so there it is. Yep, so Peyton's looking at this. Again, this is going to be now closer to Langston. He's up there actually around the Coil area. So again, we're looking at a shot. Again, it's, you know, we're dealing with it here as it comes in. But again, so there it is right there. On radar, it's easing down some as well, Peyton. We're seeing that as well. On radar, it's easing down as well. But again, great work, great shot here. So again, this is the wall cloud. Now again, we've got two tornado warnings going. This is the one up here around the Logan County area, up here around Langston University, and up here around the Coil area, Highway 33 up in here. And so, Peyton, again, as you're eyeballing it, we're looking at your video. Again, just give us a quick overview. Again, are you seeing, again, anything on the ground, anything to you that is concerning at all? I can tell you on radar, this storm has really wrapped up. The velocities have eased down some, but the hook is very pronounced on this storm. What are you seeing, again, from your vantage point there?
Yes, William, yes. So the wall cloud is very, very apparent. The wall cloud is there. I mean, it is all there. You can see that very well. Nothing really after that, though. No, I have no appendages. I have no fingers. Nothing coming down just yet. I am still working with it. Man, this thing is really flying. It's hard to keep in front of this thing.
Yeah, it's picked up speed. Earlier when it was over around Reno, it was only moving at maybe 15 miles an hour. Now it's really picked up speed. You folks in Langston and Meridian, you've got to be taking your immediate tornado precautions. On radar, this thing has really ramped up. And again, we don't want to overhype it or alarm anyone. But again, there's a tornado warning in effect regardless. But on radar, it just looks like a mean storm. And it's going to be tracking just south of Highway 33, the main area of spin. And it's going to be coming right there into the Langston area, maybe just south of Langston. But again, you folks in Langston University, and locations to the south, even as far south as Meridian, again, you've got to be taking those immediate precautions. Yes, go ahead, Peyton.
Large hail. I'm getting golf balls here. Large hail.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's no doubt about it. Yeah, that's the other thing. This has definitely been a big hailstorm as well. Looking at the hail core tracker here, there easily, yes, absolutely could easily be golf ball size hail in it. So at least right now, the good news is not on the ground. It's one we're watching, I mean, extra carefully up there. Again, if you live in Langston all the way down to Meridian, we're talking about Logan County. Again, you've got to be taking those immediate tornado precautions. I want to come back down here to the south. I want to break away from this. We can't forget about our friends down here. And man, I tell you what, I've got a vortex lock here. This may be on the ground. Yeah, let me tell you what, folks. Okay, this is on the ground. There's no two ways about it. This one's on the ground. I've got yellow on the spin rate. Okay, so we're talking about two different tornado warnings. I want to be clear. Highway 19 from Bradley to Lindsey. From Bradley to Lindsey, Highway 19. This is going to be down here across portions of Grady, pushing into Garvin and McLean County. This is on the ground, tornado on the ground here. I've got a vortex lock, and this is going to be approaching Highway 19, and it's going to be tracking over towards Lindsey. This is going to be tracking over towards Lindsey, Oklahoma, and eventually pushing into portions of McLean County. And again, as I'm looking at the spin rate here, again, you can see this green going to yellow, and I've got a vortex marker. And so this is what I'm talking about right here. Whenever I'm talking about the spin rate, kind of reds going to greens, whenever you get some yellow, there's the yellow right in the middle. That's when it becomes alarming. Yellow and pink is alarming. And again, I've got that vortex marker here. So this is going to be coming right up there to Highway 19. If you're between Bradley and Lindsey, especially the hometown of Lindsey, there it is. There's a spin rate. There it is. It's coming in. It's trying to cross Highway 19 right now between Bradley and Lindsey. You folks have got to be taking your immediate tornado precautions. Again, you've got to be at the lowest level of whatever building you're in, away from windows. And again, if you can, wrap yourself in blankets and pillows. If you have any kind of eye protection, glasses, whatever, put it on. Make sure you're wearing shoes and have your wallet, have your ID with you. And again, take your immediate tornado precautions. And again, that extends there even into portions of McLean County. Tornado on the ground there, at least it was on the ground. It may have lifted now, but again, we had an indication on radar that was on the ground, and I don't think there's any two ways about it. That was about 5 miles west rather, of Highway 19, and again, in general, that rotation's moving towards Bradley and Lindsey. So again, heads up on that. Brand new severe thunderstorm warning here for Payne County. That's going to be the storm that you're on up there. Peyton, let's go up to the north now. And the storm that you're on still up there in Logan County. Again, we're balancing two separate warnings here. Give us an update on that northern storm. Again, Bradley and Lindsey, south central Oklahoma, immediate tornado precautions. You got to do it right now. There's at least been some hopscotch tornadic activity down here. Immediate tornado precautions. Moving the radar back up to the north. Tornado warning continues here between Langston and Meridian. You can still see the hook on this storm. That's where Peyton is. Also, that's also where Dustin is. But Peyton, we're looking at your video. Give us an update.
Yes, William. Okay, so we did drive through the hail core. The whole time I was getting golf ball, maybe a tad bit bigger, but what I could see for sure was golf ball size hail. The rain, man, the rain is really apparent. The streets are already ponding. Everything is running off into the ditch. You know, there's not a lot of places for this extra rain to go right now. So I'm gonna have to take that into account as well. But I'm trying to bust over here just a little farther to the east. I can turn around and get you a better shot. But wall cloud's still intact. Everything's looking good, and it's starting to move into the Stillwater Perkins area.
Looks up there. So severe thunderstorm warning has been extended there ahead of the tornado warning. But again, Perkins, Ripley, Stillwater, severe thunderstorm warning here. And we'll see if the Weather Service does extend that tornado warning there into Payne County. But again, you folks in Payne County, heads up on this storm. This has been a mean storm. And again, as we go back, let's go and switch around here. I want to go back down to the south. And so again, I'm going to widen this all the way out. And so I want everyone to kind of see what we're talking about here. I don't want anyone to be confused by these warnings we're talking about. So currently, we've got 2 tornado warnings in effect in Oklahoma. We have one down here in south central Oklahoma. We have one in north central Oklahoma, one over around the Langston area, and one down here between Bradley and Lindsey and Highway 19. We've had some hopscotch tornadic activity here in south central Oklahoma. We had a tornado on the ground, may have lifted. We've had at least some funnel cloud activity with the storm to the north there. But again, 2 separate tornado warnings. Tornado watch for all the counties in green. That continues until 10 p.m. this evening. So here's what I want to do. I want to go back down to the south, and I want to check in on this storm down here in south central Oklahoma. It appears as though right now this storm is the strongest. The one up there around Langston still has to be watched. It may be easing down just a notch. Again, Peyton's right there. If anything changes on that one, he's going to let us know. I want to go back over to the spin rate. And so here we go again between Bradley and Lindsey. As I'm going to back this up in time, and as I back this up maybe 5 minutes, this is what I was talking about earlier. This was 5 minutes ago. Spin rate here, green, yellow. Whenever you have yellow, that's a strong indication there's a tornado on the ground. It's hard to see here, but I also had a vortex mark right there as well. And so that leads me to believe there was tornadic activity here. This is far eastern Grady County, and in general, this is going to be crossing Highway 19 and coming up here into portions of McLean County. But again, Bradley to Lindsey, Highway 19, you've got to be taking those immediate tornado precautions. I think this has maybe produced some type of tornadic activity. That's been the strongest indication on radar that we've had all night. Again, there's a different view of it, and you can see that vortex marker that, again, we had just a few minutes ago. This is the live view. Let's go back into it here. And again, the area of spin, again, just not quite as concerning as it was minutes ago. And again, as we know with these tornadoes, again, not all of these tornadoes are on the ground for a long time. Unfortunately, the El Reno tornado from just a few nights ago, that was only on the ground for 4 minutes, and you saw the damage that it did. So again, these can easily be on the ground for a short amount of times and still do substantial damage and cause life-threatening issues, okay? So we just want to be clear about that. Now, the area of spin here, it's just not as pronounced as it was. So this one is maybe cycling down. That would be good if it did. But again, right now, regardless, tornado warning continues. This one had really ramped up again just a few minutes ago. But again, right now, it's easing down. It's breathing out just some. But again, from Bradley to Lindsey to Aaron Springs into Kreiner into McLean County there, tornado warning continues, and you've got to be taking those immediate tornado precautions. We've got a big hail core. Look at this hail core. This is the other story here, coming right into Bradley. And again, this has been a couple times this evening that we've had these extra large hail cores. And again, when you're talking about, yellow, orange, red, purple, white, gray, you saw the new sweep come in there. The hail core just got bigger. This is easily golf ball size hail coming into Bradley. Besides the immediate tornado threat, that can also blow out windows as well, that large of hail. And that's crossing Highway 19. Look at that hail core there, another sweep coming in. And so again, that's going to be pushing up into portions of McLean County. You folks in Kreiner, tornado precautions, yes, but you've also got a big hail core coming up there towards the Kreiner area as well. Again, larger than golf balls now there, again, with that white going to gray. That's also concerning, and that hail core will do damage, again, as that comes on in. So you folks down here, again, Grady County, northern portions of Garvin, McLean, southern McLean County, again, heads up on this. And as we kind of look out in time here, as we'll just kind of look out in time here, portions of Cleveland County, we're talking about as far east as Purcell, heads up on this. So again, right now the tornado warning does not include Purcell, but even this large hail core could eventually track up here towards Purcell, Lexington, even far southern portions of Noble. So again, we're talking about Cleveland County eventually, again, if this storm maintains its strength. It could even maintain its tornadic potential as well. So you folks need to stay alert to that storm, again, for hail and potentially tornadic activity there. So again, concerning on south central Oklahoma, big hailstorm there. Let's come back up here to the north. Tornado warning continues here between Langston and Meridian. I think this storm, it's beginning to occlude some. Here. Peyton, you're still looking at it, and we're looking at your video. You're up there. Tell us what you're seeing. I think the area of spin, it's kind of wrapping up on itself. The hook is wrapping up on itself. That may be easing down the immediate tornado potential. What are you seeing there from your vantage point?
Yes, William. Okay, so I do see a new wall cloud or a new interest point for sure. I'm just trying to find a road. All these roads up here are swamps, so can't really get down and back. But definitely a new interest point. I can see it over my shoulder. I'm working to get you a better shot. I'll get back with you when I have one.
Great job. You're doing an amazing job. Appreciate that. Let's check in quickly with Dustin. Dustin, I don't know where you are now. You may have dropped to the south of that storm. It's kind of getting away from you. It's kind of getting over there in Peyton's area. Dustin, tell us where you are quickly now and give us an update as well.
Yes, William. I was trying to chase that storm that Peyton's on right now, but I've definitely gotten kind of lost out here on some country roads. So I'm going to head south to that storm down by Lindsey, and maybe I can intercept it maybe by I-40 or I-44.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Yeah, that would be perfect as you're dropping down there. But yeah,
the turnpike.
Yeah. No. Great job. That's going to be just east though. That's going to be east though, Dustin. As you take a look at that, that's going to be east of the turnpike. You would have to be on 35. You could potentially intercept it on 35, depending on how far south you are right now. But you could potentially intercept it on 35. It just depends on how far north you are, because that's going to be crossing 35. Probably here within about the next 30 to 45 minutes. Some of this activity may try and go as far north as Norman. Yes, was that Peyton? Go ahead. Okay, I thought we had something new coming in from Peyton. We're still looking at Peyton's video. We'll take this full just real quickly. There's Peyton, and again, he's up there in the Langston area. So again, hail core here. Just looking down to the south, that hail core is still going to be tracking up towards the Purcell area. And again, tornado warning continues there around the Lindsey area. Let's go back over to radar. Again, we've got the storm trackers out. They've been doing a phenomenal job with these storms. So we're going back down to the south here. We were just talking about the northern storm. Let me go and zoom this in. And again, I think we've had some type of tornadic activity with this storm already, especially when it was just due west of Bradley. We had a strong indication on radar that there was a potential tornado on the ground. That's kind of eased down some now. The storm is kind of relaxing just ever so slightly. The tornado warning does continue here, again, from Bradley to Lindsey, all the way up through the Kreiner area. And again, tornado warning continues here until 7:30. The main area of spin, the way it looks right now, it's going to try and track up towards the Kreiner area. So it's going to try and track up towards Kreiner. If it would hold together, it would be tracking up towards the Purcell area. But again, outside of that, this storm also poses a tremendous hail threat as well. Hail core right over Bradley. You see the whites and the grays showing up there. That could easily be hail in excess of golf balls there, crossing Highway 19, again, tracking up towards the Kreiner area. So again, not a good situation. Again, tornado warning, but also that large hail threat. And again, that large hail threat, it's going to track over towards I-35 and potentially there even back towards the Purcell area as well. Let me do this. I want to go back up to the north. We're just going to kind of balance both of these. Okay, the good news is up here, it looks like the tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire. We'll see if the Weather Service is confirming that. So it looks like the tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire. Yes, go ahead, Peyton.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if they threw one back on that thing pretty quickly. It's just really starting to get that shape again. It's starting to take that shape to kind of get regenerated. I think it went through its recycle stage and it's kind of getting generated again. Trying to get up here on a hill for you, get you a good shot. I'll have a good shot for you in about a mile. Give me about 1 mile.
No, that's perfect. And what Peyton is saying, I want to come back over here to the spin rate. What Peyton is saying, it does look like even on velocities here that this may be trying to regenerate. There's a new severe thunderstorm warning coming out. This is going to be for Cotton and Jefferson County in southern Oklahoma. But again, there's the spin rate, and we're starting to see some green. There's the old mesocyclone right there, and it may be that it's trying to ramp up ever so slightly. It's nowhere near as pronounced as it was, but again, it's something we got to watch. And again, in general, it's going to be tracking towards Perkins and Highway 177. That's going to be in Payne County. So you folks there in Payne County, from Stillwater all the way down through the Perkins area. Again, this is an immediate heads up on this storm. Again, right now it's below tornadic levels. There's only a severe thunderstorm warning on it. But again, this is the storm that's been tornado warned off and on ever since it was near El Reno. And again, there's at least a few indications on radar that it may potentially potentially be trying to ramp back up. So we're going to watch it. But again, from Stillwater to Perkins, I-70 or Highway 77 rather. Again, big heads up on this storm. This is also a hailstorm. Now the hail core's come down some from when it was over by the Langston area. Now the hail core's eased down some, and so we'll see if that hail core tries to strengthen back up at all. If it does, that would be indicative of a storm trying to re-intensify. There's a shot of it. Again, there's a Peyton Epperle shot right there. Again, as he continues to look at the storm. So again, we've got eyes on it, but at least right now, the tornado warning on this storm, it is going to be allowed to expire. But it's still, even on radar, I tell you what, as we zoom in here, it's still got the inflow notch. It's kind of repronounced here. And we're going to get back down to the south on the tornado warning. Again, tornado warning no longer in effect for this storm here. But again, there's the inflow notch. It's starting to breathe in some warm, unstable air again. So Peyton's looking at it. And again, if anything changes here, Peyton, let us know, because even on radar, again, we're starting to get that inflow notch coming back up on this as well. Let's go and take a quick look at the hail core tracker. Again, the hail core tracker, a good indication if the mesocyclone is trying to maybe regenerate or become a little bit stronger. But again, at least within the storm structure, we're starting to get that inflow notch again. And as it turns out, as we're looking at the hail core tracker, it is slowly trying to also regenerate there as well. So I think that storm we still need to watch. Again, it's going to be between Stillwater and Perkins. Heavy rain, hail, high wind. There may still be a lingering tornado threat with that. Right now, tornado warning expired, but it's one we got to watch carefully. Moving the radar back down to the south here. This storm down here, it's also, this is a beefy supercell here too. And let's go and take a look at the velocities. And this is, I tell you what, this is the strongest storm in the state right now. And this one here, it's really ramped up. Again, it's trying to ramp up again. But again, you can see where the mesocyclone is. This is a broad, big mesocyclone here. That's why the hail is so big here. The hail, rather, is so big here. This could easily be larger than golf balls now. But again, this is circulation going this way, coming back around here. Broad area spin. This is a storm I think may have produced a tornado, a radar indicated tornado just due west of Bradley. And again, that was maybe 20 minutes or so ago now. But as we look at the hail core tracker, again, still large hail. And large hail here just essentially crossing Highway 76. It's going to be tracking up towards Kreiner. And again, if this storm were to hold together, eventually Purcell, Slaughterville, and the Lexington area, again, if it were to hold together and again maintain its current intensity. But also outside of that hail threat, again, we have this tornado threat here as well. Spin rate, you have to look carefully, but it's showing where the center of spin is, and it's going to be right back down in here on Highway 76, again, between Kreiner and Lindsey. It gets fairly rural here, but just due east of Bradley, again, just west of Bradley is where I think we had the brief spin up. But again, area spin basically crossing Highway 76. Again, Purcell, Lexington, Slaughterville, some of those hometowns not included in the warning, but if you live over there in southern Cleveland County, this is again definitely a heads up for you. You've got to be watching the storm again as it now approaches from the west and from the southwest. Let's go back over here to the hail core tracker. And again, there's the hail core. And so the hail core continues to come up on this as well. Large damaging hail, quite likely with this storm. And again, you know, outside of the tornado threat, again, right now I don't think there's a tornado on the ground. So even outside of the tornado threat, again, the other thing we really have to watch for is hail. Again, hail can do lots of damage and it can blow out windows as well. So again, you've got to be taking, if you're in the tornado warning, you need to be taking those tornado precautions. But even outside of that, again, as far to the west and to the east, rather, as per Purcell and Slaughterville, you've got to be ready to at least stay away from windows as this storm eventually moves in your area, regardless if at that time it's tornado warned or not. Let's go back up here to the north. I want to check back in with this storm. And this is the one that has been tornado warned intermittently since it moved through the El Reno area. And we've still got a fairly broad area of spin. Peyton's up there on it. Peyton, you're still looking at this one. It still appears as though it may be trying to cycle back up. The rotation here, it's still fairly raggedy at the low levels. At the mid levels, also looking at, honestly, right now, pretty raggedy compared to where it was. But you're our eyes in the field. We're still getting some returns on the spin rate. Give us an update. Go ahead.
Okay, William, I'm sitting right here in the church in between Stillwater and Perkins. I'm facing to the southwest. I'm watching a new wall cloud build as we speak. A lot of rapid rising scud. Not as impressive as it was earlier, but it's trying to get its act together again. It's heading right for us. So you should have my shot for a good minute here.
Okay, let's double check your shot here. It may have frozen just momentarily. Let me go and kind of double check this here. And as we do that, okay, so we've got it. Let's go and switch over to this. So there it is. Again, you can still see. Again, this is the wall. This has been the wall cloud we've been dealing with ever since El Reno. And again, this thing just continues to kind of cycle up and cycle down. But there it is right there. Again, it's definitely looking more raggedy than it was earlier. If you've been joining us throughout the late afternoon, early evening, this thing is ramped up from time to time. And we have had some funnel cloud activity with this as well. But Peyton, I mean, would you agree it's looking much more raggedy than it has in the past? Or what are you seeing with it right now? Where would you guesstimate this as you've been tracking it essentially the whole time?
William, yeah, I would go on a limb and say it is getting more raggedy, but man, just as soon as you say that, it starts getting attacks back together. And I think if you're watching my live feed right now, you can definitely see that it is trying to get attacked back together. It says I'm feeding live to you, so let me know if I need to move or anything. But yeah, it's definitely trying to get attacked together right here in front of us right now.
Yeah, no, we're watching in real time. So the Weather Service, they're going to go and extend, it looks like. Let's go and take a look here, what we got going on down here to the south. We're monitoring both of these storms very carefully. So this is Peyton storm up here to the north. This is going to be around the Perkins area. Right now, this is severe. You folks in Perkins, heads up on this storm. Stay alert. Right now, it's only a severe thunderstorm warning, but it's been tornado warned off and on. Again, essentially as we've gone throughout most of the late afternoon and now early evening. We'll continue to monitor that shot coming in. As we go back to radar, this other storm down here to the south, tornado warning continues on this storm, and this one still has a broad area of spin, but it's not as pronounced as it was. I do think this storm did produce a tornado just west of Bradley, about 6 west of Bradley. This was maybe 20 minutes ago. I had a strong indication on radar that was most likely happening. Since then, it really weakened as it crossed over Highway 19 and as it's now crossing over Highway 76. Again, it's just not looking as pronounced on radar. But again, regardless, if you live in Kreiner, that's essentially the only hometown right now in this warning. So essentially from Highway 39 all the way back over to Highway 76, Kreiner in the middle there. Again, you've got to be taking those immediate tornado precautions. Now, if you live over in Purcell, if you live in Cleveland County, southern Cleveland County, from Noble to Slaughterville to Purcell, all the way back over through Corbett, you've got to be paying attention to this storm still because in general, it's going to be moving in your area. So the Weather Service, they're going to issue a severe thunderstorm warning instead of a new tornado warning. So they're going to extend the severe thunderstorm warning over into portions of Cleveland County now. It's going to include Slaughterville, Purcell, Corbett, locations like that. But again, it's going to be a severe thunderstorm warning and not a tornado warning. So that's good. It looks like the immediate tornado threat is beginning now, even on this storm, beginning to ease down. But that new warning is going to be in effect here until 8:15. But again, that's going to be for southern Cleveland, McLean, and portions of Pottawatomie County until 8:15. Again, brand new severe thunderstorm warning here. Slaughterville, Purcell, Lexington, Corbett, Etowah, some of those hometowns, Highway 9 basically to the south. Again, new severe thunderstorm warning, and a large hail is possible here. Let's go to the hail core tracker. And again, there's the new warning. You just saw it populate there, and that's the yellow box. So it does include Noble, it does include Purcell, it does include Wayne, Tribby, again, Etowah, again, also other hometowns like Slaughterville, Corbett, Washington. But it appears to me as though the actual hail core, and this right now may be the most concerning portion of the storm, it's going to come up towards Purcell. And so you folks in Purcell, there easily could be some golf ball plus size hail, again, tracking up towards Purcell. So you folks in Purcell, again, even though this is only a severe thunderstorm warning now coming into Purcell, you need to stay away from windows because this hail core, it's eventually going to move right up into Purcell. There's Purcell right here. There's Slaughterville, Lexington, Corbett, and again, in general, this is going to come up towards Purcell. Stay away from windows. Large damaging hail here. It could blow out some windows, again, as that comes on into town. We've also got another warning. I want to go back up to Peyton. Peyton, we're still looking at your shot. And again, this is going to be up there around the Perkins area. Give us an update on that storm. This is the one that has been intermittently tornado warned. No longer tornado warned, but give us another update. Okay, we may have lost Peyton just momentarily.
Yes,
still got a shot.
yes, sorry,
okay, there we
sorry,
go. Go ahead.
sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Yes, still here, looking directly to my southwest. Man, it's pretty raggedy. It doesn't look like anybody's in any immediate danger right here. I mean, it just really heavy rains. I mean, it looks like it wants to get its act together, and it tries to, and then it just falls right back apart. So I'll stick with it, or I can drop south if you'd like me to. But I'm just documenting heavy rains and some hail up here.
Stay with that just a little bit longer. It's kind of getting out of the area that we cover here in Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV. We'll cover it right there through Payne County, Peyton, and just, kind of hang with it a little bit longer just to make sure there's no immediate changes to that storm. Just kind of hang with it just a little bit longer. And once it begins to pull out of Payne County or push further east there, as long as there's no changes, we'll kind of let that one go. As it should just be a severe storm then as it continues to move on. Let's quickly hear where Dustin is. Dustin, tell me where you are now. I know you're on the live line with us here too, but tell us where you are now.
Yes, William. I am on Highway 66. I'm trying to get back south. I've been heading east on 66 to see if I can figure out how to get south, but I'm still far away from that storm that's over Lindsey right now. I'm going to try to find a way to get south. So that's my plan.
No, you're doing a great job. I mean, these guys have to navigate. I mean, it's not as easily done as it sounds. Again, when you're having to navigate a lot of these rural roads, and again, look at radar, talk on the phone, and do all that kind of stuff as well. Now, here's the good news. The Weather Service, they did go and cancel this other tornado warning now as well. So right now, this is actually going to be the first time, in, really for probably maybe the last 2 hours, that we do not have a tornado warning in effect for Oklahoma. So that's good. We hope that trend continues. It may or may not. We have a tornado watch in effect here until 10 p.m. So severe weather, south central Oklahoma. We're going to do a radar tour, get you caught up, show you what's going on here. But just to kind of broaden this out, if you live in western Oklahoma, there's really not much going on. Eastern Oklahoma, not much going on. South central Oklahoma, we've got our hands full here. And north central Oklahoma, we've got our hands full here. The Oklahoma City Metro and proper, again, right now at least fairly quiet, okay? So just to kind of give you an overview of what's going on. But let's go and zoom in, and we'll do a radar tour. And again, we've had our team of trackers out, and again, these guys have just done a phenomenal job. Again, Peyton Epperly, Dustin Tate, again, they've been on these storms. They've been everywhere we've needed them to be, again, as we go through the day. And again, it's not easy to do, so just can't say enough good things about these guys today. But let's go and zoom in. We're just going to kind of walk through the south central portion of this first of all. Now, again, the tornado warning that was in effect down here, it's no longer in effect. With that being said, you can still see where the old area of spin is, right there where those greens and reds, right around Kreiner, where those are coming together. It's still a weak mesocyclone. It's nowhere near as pronounced as it was. There's still a hail core because of that mesocyclone there. The hail core is getting a little bit smaller as well, but right now radar is still estimating at least some $half to potentially golf ball size hail, and that's going to be tracking up towards Purcell. So you folks in Purcell, the main threat for you right now, it's going to be large hail coming in from the southwest. Hailstorm coming into Purcell. Stay away from windows in Purcell. Again, as on the live line with us. Go ahead and give us an update. I may have actually lost my mic pack, may have went dead there. But Peyton, we're still looking at your stream. Again, we're talking about up here between Stillwater and the Yale area. We're looking at your stream, at least velocities maybe ever so slightly coming up here. Give us another update on that storm.
Yeah, William, I guess I lost you for a little bit. I couldn't hear what you were saying, but no, I definitely think there's a new point of interest, definitely maybe a new circulation trying to form. I'm trying to get over here towards the Yale area. I'm on the highway. I'm on Highway 33 right now, going straight to my east. Just trying to get over there and get you a little better shot. The structure on this is just phenomenal. I don't know if you can get my shot very well, but the structure is just beautiful.
Yeah, no, your shot's coming in great. So, I mean, yeah, we're looking at that. And again, we're seeing exactly what you're seeing there. But again, great job. Again, like I said, you've been on this essentially all late afternoon. And I apologize, my mic pack apparently went dead there. I didn't realize that we had lost power there on my mic pack. So we just put a different battery in it, and it's good to go. So I apologize for that if there was no audio for a minute. But again, yeah, we're still looking at Peyton's stream there. Again, it's coming in great. And again, he's up there basically between Stillwater and Yale. And again, that's going to be up there along Highway 51 that runs between there. So again, this is a storm. It's been tornado warned off and on. You know, there's still a few indications of at least some mid-level spin, but again, it's just not looking quite as pronounced as it was earlier. Now, again, just with this storm, as it's been essentially all day, that can change very quickly. Again, this is the same storm that had quarter-size hail earlier, went to producing near tennis ball size hail and a tornado warning within about 10 minutes. So again, this is a cyclic supercell. It'll cycle up, cycle down. The general trend with it has been cycling down, but we hope that that trend continues. I'm just kind of leaving it there with Peyton's shot because, again, that is just the picturesque shot that we're looking at. I mean, we don't want the severe weather, obviously. He's up there. Now he's north of Perkins. He's up there between Stillwater and Yale. But again, we're seeing a great shot, great video coming in there, Peyton. And so again, we're just kind of eyeballing this in real time. But again, if anything changes there, again, Peyton's got his eyes on it. And again, he will bring it to us live. That is for sure. So right now, area spin easing down some. Let's go and take another look here. And just as I kind of look within the storm, I'm just going to, we'll go back to the 3 box here. And as we do that, this is where the area spin is. And this is what we've been tracking for a good portion of the day. It's been this right here, red and green, where it's come together. But it's, again, it's just not as pronounced as it was. And this is good. Obviously, we don't want tornadic activity. We want this thing to just kind of ease down and die, for lack of a better word. There's not necessarily a sign that it's completely dying right now, but again, the area of spin, the mesocyclone, just not as pronounced again as it was just a little bit earlier. So we hope that that trend continues. Let's go and take a look at the spin rate there. Spin rate still giving us an indication. I mean, we've locked on to exactly where it is. There, in fact, there it is. It's going to be approaching up here, Highway 51 against Stillwater, Yale. And so there's the area of spin slowly there, lifting off to the northeast again towards Highway 51. So we'll continue to track that and again see what happens again with that right there. But again, right now, just to underscore, no tornado warnings anywhere in Oklahoma. So let's do this. From there, let's go back down to the south and we'll take a look at what we have going on down here. But again, Stillwater, Ripley, severe thunderstorm warnings all the way over through Yale. Again, heads up on that. Let's also quickly, while we're there, let's go and take a look at the hail core tracker. This has been the other real threat as we've gone through the day. It's been some of these larger hail cores. And as we take a look at this, the computer's still giving us an indication of at least some $half size hail. And so you can see that, again, it's going to be approaching Highway 51. The main hail core, it's going to be just east now of Stillwater. The main hail core there, it's essentially going to be moving up towards Highway 51 here over the next 5 minutes. And then again, if it does hold together, would be tracking down towards Yale. But again, this is Payne County that we're talking about. Let's go back down to the south. And again, all quiet right now in Oklahoma City proper. Again, by the way, earlier we had the sirens fail. They were trying to sound the sirens on the northwestern sides of Oklahoma City, and the sirens did fail, by the way. So they are looking into that. Other hometowns like Edmond, Guthrie, Piedmont, El Reno, Mustang. Again, a lot of those hometowns have sounded their sirens as we've gone through the day. Langston, again, just to name a few. But again, the northwestern sides of Oklahoma City, they now have their sector sirens where they can just blow them in certain parts of the city. In Oklahoma City, the sirens did fail. They did not function this evening. Okay, so let's go and take a look down here to the south, and we've got a new warning coming in. I just want to underscore again, at least right now, no tornado warnings anywhere in Oklahoma, so that continues to be good. Again, hopefully that trend does continue. Looks like we're going to have a new severe thunderstorm warning coming in here, and again, this is going to be for Payne County. That's the storm up there that Peyton's on, the one we just looked at, and that's going to be a severe thunderstorm warning continuing now until 8:30. So again, if you're up there in the Payne County area, that's specifically between Stillwater and Yale, that hail core like we were just talking about, that's essentially going to be crossing Highway 51 here fairly quickly. But again, new severe thunderstorm warning there. Down here to the south, again, down here in Cleveland County, this is where we have our other storm that was tornado warned, no longer tornado warned. Also another warning coming in here. This is going to be for Cotton and Stevens County in southern Oklahoma. We'll take a look at that, again, coming up here momentarily. But again, just to kind of stay with what's going on here in far southern Cleveland County, let's also, and again, I know we sound like we're all over the place. Let's check in with Peyton. I think Peyton's got something new on that Stillwater storm. Peyton, go ahead.
Yes, hey, William, I'm still heading east on 33. The wall cloud is now just to my north. It is a lot better wall cloud than what I've been seeing. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing really starts to get its act back together. I'm trying to get in better position, but convergence up here is a big deal holding me down right now.
Yeah.
But definitely the wall cloud, I can see it. Look like on the last radar scan, it kind of picked up a little bit too, but let me know what you think, man.
Okay, let's take a look at Peyton's shot. Peyton, your shot may be frozen just momentarily. Let's do this. We're gonna while his shot is coming back in, let's just update real quick these southern storms, and then we'll get back up there to the north and see what's going on. So let's go and talk real quick here about what's going on in Cleveland County. We've just kind of been working our way down to the south, but again, from Noble down to Purcell, severe thunderstorm warning here. Again, this was the storm that was tornado warned, no longer tornado warned, but again, it's still this hail core that's got my attention, and there it is. It's about to come into Purcell. It's about to cross I-35. Again, if you're watching us down in the Purcell area, or if you're watching us on the mobile app on I-35, heads up, because this is a big-time hail core. There could be golf ball size hail here. Red line, this is I-35. This is Old 77 here, Cleveland County, Slaughterville, Lexington, Purcell. And so there's the hail core right there. Reds, purples, even a little bit of white mixed in here. Golf ball is possible. And in general, you see that's going to be tracking right there into Purcell and towards the Lexington area. So the primary threat with that storm right now, it is hail. You want to stay away from windows, folks, as that one comes into Purcell. Again, as that larger hail can blow out windows. We just want to underscore that one more time. So then back down through Kreiner and Lindsey. Severe thunderstorm warning continues here as well. Alex all the way down through Rush Springs. Heavy rain, flash flooding continues to also be a concern here. And again, as we look at the hail core tracker down by Rush Springs, this is the other well-pronounced hail core. Again, $50 is quite possible here, just on the far eastern sides of Rush Springs. So again, you folks down there in southern Grady County, that's a big heads up for you folks there. And then as we go further on down to the south, there's our other new severe thunderstorm warning. This is essentially down here around Cotton County, Walters, Cookietown, Ranelett, all the way back down through the Temple area. Severe thunderstorm warning here. And so again, there's also an opportunity of some $50 size hail, especially right there and just east of the Cookietown area. And then also for our friends up here near the Quorum area, back up through Empire City, severe thunderstorm warning continues as well, with at least an opportunity of some $50 size hail tracking up towards Empire City, and eventually you folks there in Duncan, especially the Halliburton area there in Duncan, heads up for our friends there. Okay, let's go back up to the north here. And again, we're trying to move radar slow. We're trying to kind of walk this around as slow as possible. Again, this is our storm that has been intermittently tornado warned. Again, as we've gone through the late afternoon, severe thunderstorm warning continues here, again, from Stillwater all the way over through Yale. And that's essentially right there along the Highway 51 corridor. And again, this is where we have Peyton. We're looking, I see the inflow notch fairly well pronounced, Peyton. We're still getting some indications here of, well, the spin is actually maybe trying to organize just a little bit more than it was. And as we're looking at this, it's still not at the level where we're overly concerned, but it's looking just a little more organized, the area of spin here. Let's go back over to Peyton's live shot. It's a great shot coming in. Peyton, good job bringing that in. But give us an update on this storm. Again, it's looking just, again, slightly more pronounced than it was maybe 5 minutes ago. And again, this is a storm that's really cycled on us several times, and that generally means you really have to watch these storms. Yeah, Peyton, go ahead.
Okay, a lot better walk cloud, a lot better walk here the past few minutes. I'm seeing more rising scud. It really does look like it's trying to get its act together. I'm about 4 or 5 miles from being able to go north, and I'll give you a great shot, but man, it is beautiful. I can definitely see the wall cloud. There is some little fingers hanging down. I don't think it's anything too serious, but definitely trying to get in a better position for you. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing didn't cycle back up and really start to get its act back together. You know, being discreet way up here by itself.
Yeah, the inflow notch, it's definitely much more pronounced than it was a few minutes ago. And as we look at these as they kind of cycle, these are little things that we look at. We look at where the inflow notch is, how pronounced it is. The inflow notch is basically where the storm breathes in warm, moist, unstable air. Well, there's the inflow notch right there. Basically where I'm sticking my finger into. See that right there? That's the inflow notch. So this storm, it is definitely looking more pronounced and a little healthier than it was, maybe 10 minutes ago. Peyton will have a shot back up. We're going to look at it coming up here again momentarily. And even as we look at velocities, we still have this couplet. This is where the mesocyclone's been. Again, it's cycled up, it's cycled down as we've gone through the day. It's produced some funnel cloud activity. But again, you can see right there where the reds and greens come together. It's not overly impressive. But it's not necessarily weak either. So again, this right here is something we've got to keep our eyes on. I want to come back over here to the spin rate product as well. And again, as we do that, and again, we're going to check back in with Peyton coming up here momentarily. There's the area of spin. And so this is what the computer's locked onto here, again, where the reds go to greens. Again, once we start getting into the yellows, that's when it's more concerning, like what we had earlier, just west of Bradley, where I do think we had some tornadic activity. But again, this is Highway 51. There's Stillwater. Again, there's the Yale area. So again, this area of spin, in general, it's going to be tracking up towards and almost just hovering. There you see it, right across Highway 51. Yeah, Peyton, go ahead. We've got you on the live line, and we'll try and get your shot up here as well. But yeah, Peyton, go ahead.
Okay, William. Hey, I'm getting a new inflow band pulling into it, getting a very impressive wall cloud here. It's really starting to get its look together, and finally, for the first time in a while, it's really getting rain-free. I mean, you can see this thing. I'm probably 6-8 miles from it, and you can see all the way to it. It's definitely trying to get its act together, though, and I am seeing a new inflow band starting to form right in there to it.
Okay, we're about to switch over to, as soon as your video kicks in, and again, you know, Peyton's really rural, folks. I mean, we apologize. It's just one of those deals. You know, we have to deal with technology the same as you, and sometimes if there's just no signal, there's just no signal. So he's doing the best he can, but again, he's got eyes on it, and if anything changes, he will let us know. But again, his video should be kicking back in here, I would imagine, fairly quickly. But even here on radar, we're watching this carefully. Now, we're essentially seeing what he's saying. Again, we're seeing that area spin. And again, even as we look at velocities here, just like we were saying, that new inflow notch, and as he was talking about the inflow band he's seen in the field. So just to kind of correlate this for you, as we're looking at these colors here, and well, what exactly does that mean? The radar site we're using is down here in Cleveland County, right? And so we're looking up here into portions of Payne County. So red is wind moving away from the radar. So that is moving this direction, that is into the storm, and this is the wraparound. See the green kind of right there in the middle of the red? That's where it wraps back around the circulation. So we're getting some hotter reds here, brighter reds. That means we have good inflow. The storm is breathing in, and you also saw that nice, well-pronounced inflow notch on radar as well. And again, just like Peyton was saying, he's seeing some of that inflow banding out there in the field. So even as we go back to reflectivity here, again, you can see that inflow notch, again, basically where the storm is essentially breathing on in. So we'll continue to monitor this. On radar, it's looking just, you know, it kind of cycles up and cycles down, and it looks like it's almost at that point of maybe just looking a little more in the way of raggedy. But again, Peyton's right there, and he says it's looking, at least in the field, a little more impressive. Again, as soon as this video kicks in, we'll take it live. And again, Peyton, if anything changes there, just give me a holler. We'll get you right back on the horn and let you give an update. So again, this is up here in Payne County. Severe thunderstorm warning continues here. So let's go and zoom out and again, give everybody an overview. Again, for most of the state, it is a quiet weather evening. Counties in green, that is a tornado watch that continues until 10 p.m. We've had one storm in north central Oklahoma, a supercell that's gone on to at least try and produce some funnel cloud activity, and it's had multiple tornado warnings on it. We kind of have this broken line of storms in south central Oklahoma, with the strongest being around Purcell. Let's go and zoom back into the Purcell area. And again, as we do that, we're looking at the hail core tracker. I tell you what, this hail core down around Purcell, it's essentially beginning to ease on down, and this would be good. And I think there's just a temporary lapse in radar. We'll see about the new sweep, because again, you can see where the hail core was just west of Purcell, And again, we're talking about maybe the size of golf balls coming on in. The new sweep, it's not as pronounced, but I think there's a little bit of data lag or data missing there. So we'll continue to watch that. If I was in Purcell, I would still be staying away from windows the way it looks here. Again, an opportunity, again, of some damaging hail, again, coming on in your area as we look at this from a different angle, a different way. Again, there's that hail core coming on into the Purcell area. So again, you folks there in Purcell, and there we go. Let me go and zoom this out a little bit. And there's a different perspective of this hail core. And again, from Slaughterville all the way down through Purcell, again, an opportunity of golf ball size hail. So Slaughterville to Purcell, Lexington, those hometowns, just can't stress that enough. That can blow out some windows. Okay, let's zoom this out. And we'll go further back down to the south here. And again, as we take a look at the hail core tracker, with the storms in the south, the primary threat right now, it is the hail. And we've got this other hail core over here around the Rush Springs area. It's going to be just east of Rush Springs. And there's at least still an opportunity here for some $50 to maybe some golf ball size hail. And again, in general, that's going to be tracking up towards Highway 19. You folks there around Highway 19, again, heads up, Bradley, Lindsey. You folks have already had some severe weather move through. Notice on radar how this activity is basically moving through the same areas over and over and over. This is what we call training. Just think of a locomotive, how it goes down a track. Well, this rain here, this thunderstorm activity rather, you can see it basically moving through the same area. This is what we call train echoing, and of course we've already had so much rain. Flooding has been such a concern over the last couple weeks that I do anticipate flash flood warnings being issued with this as well. Locally heavy rain will continue to fall here, and again, ponding on the roads, and again, some localized flash flooding will be possible. Again, just for the fact this heavy rain, it continues to move through the same areas. We'll take a look at some rainfall amounts coming up here momentarily. And then back down here through Duncan, this is another severe storm here, and you see that hail core basically approaching Empire City, back up through the Duncan area as well. So again, you folks down in Duncan, Highway 81, Empire City, again, heads up, $50 possible there. And then a pretty big hailstorm down here in Cotton County, and this is going to be just back to the west of Temple. You see that hail core there. There easily could be some golf balls associated with that. And again, as we're looking at velocities, not seeing anything really within the storm, but I tell you, that hail core does kind of stick out there just a little bit. But again, some big hail there. And again, in general, that's going to be coming through State Highway, rather, 5A into the Temple area. So for our friends down there, small hometown of Temple in southwestern Oklahoma, again, heads up. Again, you've got a fairly decent hailstorm, again, coming in your direction. I'm going to punch up some rainfall amounts here. I want to take a look at what we've seen rainfall-wise around the area, because again, that's one of the other main concerns really as we go through the evening. It's some of this locally heavy rain, and again, the opportunity for some localized flooding as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put on the flash flood warnings here, and we'll come over here and take a look at this. We're going to switch radars just momentarily. We're going to get back to the trackers coming up here momentarily as well and get an update from them. But I want to talk about this here too. And again, you can see these rain swaths where we've essentially seen heavy rain down here in southwestern, south central Oklahoma. First of all, again, you can see from Comanche County back over here into portions of Grady County. Yes, this has been some heavy rain here. And again, as we get in here, you can see some locations picking up right around 2 inches. That's going to be just north of Rush Springs. Look over here around the Lawton area. There was a 3. You saw there's a 3.3 just north of Lawton. And again, that's why we have flash flood warnings in effect down here. And so again, anywhere from 2 to, again, nearly 3 inches of rain, again, has fallen down in this part of the state. As I'm going to move this to the north, again, you can see this other rain swath where this other supercell has moved through. And again, this continues to be concerning here. Again, over here around the Guthrie area, over 1 inch. And again, even back over through Cashion, almost 2 inches of rain. And just north of Guthrie, north of El Reno, rather, right around 1 inch of rain. So again, locally heavy rain. Yes, that also is a concern with this activity. And again, you can see this rain swath. Eventually, it's going to be pushing there into portions of McLean and Cleveland County, eventually there as well. So again, locally heavy rain. Yes, that is also a concern. Flash flooding. That is also a concern with this activity. Okay, so let's go and zoom this out. I want to check back in with Peyton again. He's back up here in the Stillwater area, really east of Stillwater, I should say, up here in Payne County. He's been eyeballing the storm. Again, this is the storm that's been intermittently tornado warned, again, really as we've gone through the day and now into the early evening. Peyton, there's the old mezzo. It's still holding on. It's just north there of Highway 51. Again, it's just not looking necessarily as impressive as it was. We've got a new warning coming out But Peyton, give us an update. Tell us what's going on with this storm up here in Payne County.
Some of the roads are flooded up here, so it's a little difficult to get around. But I wouldn't be surprised if something goes up just a little farther to the south and west. There's a little interesting little notch back in there. Let me know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was noticing that as well. I'm just looking at reflectivity and velocity here. I see that little notch down there around Ripley, not necessarily seeing anything in it. Still just kind of seeing where that old mesocyclone was. It's just not going away, and that area of spin is still there, but it's north essentially now of Highway 51. There was a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for Pawnee County just to the north of this as it continues to basically lift out of the area that we cover here on Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV. But again, from Merrimack all the way back over through Hallett, back up through Blackburn, Pawnee, again, Pawnee County here, Highway 64, and even back over here through Highway 142. That's where the new severe thunderstorm warning is. And again, there will be an opportunity of $half size hail, heavy rain, vivid lightning. And again, there's still that old mesocyclone. It's holding on. Right now it appears there's not much going on with that storm other than, again, the hail and the heavy rain and the lightning. But again, we have to continue to monitor it. But just the shape of it, it's just not looking as impressive. It doesn't have that classic supercell shape anymore. But again, it's something we'll keep our eyes on. But again, as that essentially is continuing to drift out of the general area that we cover here in Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV. So let me go and zoom out here. And again, we'll just give everybody an overview one more time here. And as we kind of take a look at this, again, just one more time to give an overview. Tornado watch continues here until 10 p.m. Again, we haven't had any tornado warnings in probably 30, 45 minutes. That's always a good thing. That may be a trend that continues to hold through the rest of the evening. There's the severe thunderstorm warning that's kind of pulling out of our coverage area. That's the one Peyton and also Dustin, they've both been on, doing a great job, great video coming in from them. And there's that broken line of essentially severe storms, hailstorms mainly, down across portions of south central Oklahoma. So here's what I want to do. We're going to take a quick break here. Again, let the storm trackers kind of regroup. Again, currently no tornado warnings anywhere in Oklahoma. And again, we'll be back with you coming up here in a few minutes or as conditions warrant before then. Otherwise, keep it here with Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV. We'll keep you up to date with the latest live weather information for Oklahoma.